Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Copyright disclaimer. This content does not belong to Bible Chronicles or claim this intellectual property. The content provided today has and always will belong to the content owner. Bible Chronicles does not have any affiliation with the owner of this property. As mentioned, Bible Chronicles did not intend to make use of any material for the purpose of harvesting gain. However, Title 17 of United States copyright law states material and use can only be done when it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use, which honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
Yeah. Oye, es nada más y nada menos que el motherfucker Blasphemite de Plaza de Kings. Estos bebés son Big Papo, dude. No sean rebeldes, deje el rebel. Yo no me quede, yo me hospede junto a Belzebú. No me remete, plebe, no soy leve como tú. Si hay algo que no muere, eso es el hip hop Perú. Y petón, perico, te traje una chica perica. Atrás te voy a mostrar como dos monstruos rap trafican. No trate ni trepe, solo trote, señorita. Treque, donde la sangre salpica. Se aplica, te explica, replica. ¿Pa' qué? Aplica, practica, suplica, con fe. A mi perro quita, yo lo mataré. Tu madre llora y canta la bandeja, flow peregrina, chivolo propina, ina, hacen base, mejor coja vaselina, no imagina, mi vida fuera de una esquina, yo solo quiero más chavos pa' comprar más chilindrina, gira, que somos puros animales rompiéndote todos los cristales, repete señales que a ti no te sale, ¿qué pasa compadre? Somos naturales, voy a llenar todas las editoriales, rate de mi huevo pa' los tribunales, tú eres un antianal, yo experto en artesanales, yeah, se me afaga la cimaita, sopló.
Terco 92 B09 está en la casa, barrio. Escucha bien. Así se hace, Yo. Tengo problemas de actitud y poca paciencia. Hablo si me da la gana, nadie me silencia. No quieren aceptar que pa' muchos soy influencia. La voz de los barrios que llega a tocar tu conciencia. Yo sé que muchos quieren llegar a ser tendencia y hacen lo que sea sin pensar en las consecuencias. Es la diferencia, yo mantengo mi esencia y ustedes por pegar han cambiado hasta de apariencia. Y no es que lo diga yo, pero la gran evidencia es que cambian de personalidad con frecuencia. Y no son locos con inteligencia, solo quieren un poco de atención con insistencia. No presumo en nada, hago todo a mi conveniencia. Por eso te doy una sugerencia: conmigo no busquen competencia, que llevo 10 años ganándole a la vida y lo sabe la audiencia. La firme, qué ocurrencia, ¿cómo pueden joder sin prudencia? No se dan cuenta que mi experiencia es a base de exigencia. Mi trabajo es con independencia y el de otros de un productor depende de su permanencia. Sigo firme en la resistencia, dándole más rap en el track hasta por correspondencia. Que muchos disques evolucionaron, no es coincidencia. El dinero y la fama hizo que pierdan su decencia. Terco 92, cuando quieras, donde quieras.
He aprendido a sobrevivir de las maldades, comprendiendo que nada es como tú sabes. Va a decir verdad, la lucho a diario. No me critiquen, no me justifico, siempre hago lo que predico. Soy de barrio y rico en talento. De una me sacan por mi forma de ser y me acento en el yauca. Mi gente la está rompiendo por ser parte de movimiento. Quiero saludar a las personas que nunca confiaron en mí, que hoy por hoy se partean cuando me ven venir. Bye bye motherfuckers en estas líneas. Bye bye a fluir. Déjate llevar como hay people in the street. Yo. Déjate llevar como hay people in the street. Hey, 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 oh, yeah, hey. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 es la torita aquí en la casa, primo.
El autor viene a decirnos con mucha firmeza y gran convencimiento lo mismo que nos decía en el siglo XVIII el barón de Holbach, ¿no? Un filósofo francés de origen alemán. Si nos remontamos al comienzo, entonces hallaremos que la ignorancia y el temor crearon a los dioses. La fantasía, el entusiasmo o el engaño los adornaron o desfiguraron. La debilidad les rinde culto, la credulidad los conserva, la costumbre los respeta y la tiranía los apoya para que la ceguera de los hombres sirva a sus propios intereses.
All right, check in real quick. Hold on a second. Okay, all right, here we go. Damn, nobody's here. Right when I finally got my buttons to work. Okay, for all of y'all that hate, I never made this channel to fucking soothe everybody's hearts.
Fuck that puto. Fuck that puto.
I came here to hurt your feelings because that's the only way that people fucking understand shit. No matter what, I mean, let's put it this way, man. We see it; it's right in front of our face. But you know, we still got Christmas Christians. We still have our people following the New Testament, even though we're showing some real serious information. And you know what? There's, I think, one person watching. Okay, man. All glory to our Father. All glory to our Father for that. That's all it takes, is one person to pay attention. Let me start it off with this right here. Oh, shit. Hold on a second, family. Give me a moment. What the fuck is this, bro? Get off, dude. What's going on, bro? Don't do that shit. Stop. All right, sorry about that, family. I hate when little things don't work the way I want them to. Anyways, all right, so let's start off with some scriptures. I think I have something for y'all real quick. You know, it's just time, bro. I think it's just a matter of time now, you know, and I don't know, man. I fluffed a lot of feathers, I guess maybe because it's coming from someone like me. Because there's not a lot of people that are willing to go out there and try to prove me wrong. You know, no offense to any of you brothers out there that like to debate, but you know, you can get that shit too. If you're feeling froggy, you let me know, because here we're here to prove a point. Fuck this white Jesus. Fuck this black Jesus. Whatever the fuck he is, Japanese, Mexican, Cuban, it don't matter. Puerto Rican, the Virgin Mary, all of that bullshit. The parables, Paul, the New Testament has been completely created by your enemy. The enemy that you defend, the enemy that you say you hate, but then love because you're preaching his choir. Like, this is what you guys are doing. All over the scriptures, all over the Old Testament, we were told that a woman and a son would be ones to worship. When you left Egypt, Israel, stay away from the mom and the son. Because, you know, you are bound to go back to that shit. It said it all in the Old Testament. Ezekiel 3:8, it says, behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads. You know, this right here is basically a mark as well. You know, if you guys want to use the New Testament, the mark, that's what it talks about. And that mark technically is a, you know, matter of fact, I'm going to go through some scriptures just to show you real quick. Now, the reason I read this to you is because you need to be very self-aware to have a strong mind. Self-aware of yourself. Like, who are you? Who am I? If you know who you are, there's no way for someone to question what you are studying and bringing it to the table and sharing with people and saying, yo, listen, I think you're wrong. Just like I was wrong. I believed in the New Testament one time. And I was full on, I was raised in Catholicism. Altar boy. I studied this stuff. Then I stopped for a long time. And then once all of a sudden it woke me up again. And I, you know, you have to come to a conclusion, a realization when you're wrong. You're wrong. And that's okay. Now, if you know you're wrong, and you still think you're right, even though we're proving to you. I'm not just giving you verses. I'm not saying, oh, well, Isaiah 53 doesn't necessarily say that because, you know, there's a part where it says thy seed, and then you're going to say, well, you know, it's allegory or some other fucking shit, right? I'm not doing that. I'm not going back and forth with your Old Testament, New Testament shit. I'm giving you the story of the person that you glorify as to where he comes from, where his mom comes from, where that doctrine comes from, where the parables come from, where the water to wine come from, what Paul referenced, how he sounded like Plato. I've given you the sources. And I'm going to give you more this time because this is what I do. It's Isaiah 48:1. Listen to this here real quick. Israel refined for God's glory or as refined through gold, because when you learn, like when you realize, holy shit, I kind of believe that for a long time. And I know that a lot of you are probably upset because you've prayed to Jesus. You've prayed to him. See, like I'm telling you, people don't like my message because it fucking hurts your feelings because you can't prove me wrong. There's no New Testament believer that can prove me wrong with the shit that I'm sharing. Why? Are you going to just what? Oh, well, this verse says this, and why don't you talk to me about the similarities of this fucking character named Jesus and this fucking broad named Mary? Why is it that I keep finding the same story in other races outside of Israel praying to the goddess that the Old Testament said don't fucking do? Isaiah 48:1 says, hear ye, O house of Jacob, which are called by the name of Israel, and are come forth out of the waters of Judah, which swear by the name of the Lord, and make mention of the God of Israel, but not in truth, nor in righteousness. A lot of you guys are doing that right now. Every single one of you that believes in the New Testament, I'm going to fucking destroy that shit. I'm telling you, I'm going to continue to bring proof that you guys cannot debunk.
I need you to show me where this history is not right. Why do you guys think Freemasons love Jesus? Now, they don't call him Jesus. They call him the morning star, Lucifer, the enlightened one. Then it says, verse 42, for they call themselves of the holy city and stay themselves upon the God of Israel. The Lord of hosts is his name. Then it says, I have declared the former things from the beginning, and they went forth out of my mouth, and I showed them, I did them suddenly, and they came to pass. Because I knew that thou art obstinate, and thy neck is as iron as sinew, and thy brow brass, meaning hard-headed, right? So all of these things that are being declared, he has said this from the beginning. The Old Testament said it. Do not fall for the mom and the son. I have even from the beginning declared it to thee before it came to pass. I showed it thee, lest thou shouldest say, mine idol had done them. My graven image, my molten image had commanded them. Here he clearly, the Creator is clearly saying, bro, I share this shit. I told you in the New Testament, y'all were going to fall for a woman and a son, a virgin, for that matter. Every kingdom has given us the same damn fucking demons. Now, I know I might sound so harsh, but look, listen, I may be rude in speech, but not in knowledge. Thou hast heard, see all this, and will not ye declare it? I have showed thee new things from this time, even hidden things, and thou didst not know them. Right? And it says, they are created now, and not from the beginning, even before the day when thou heardest them not, lest thou shouldest say, behold, I knew them. So this is basically talking about the what? The refining. The understanding. Now, why am I sharing this? This is becoming self-aware. That's what it's talking about, self-awareness. We knew this. If you really are, like, for real about this scripture, you're not going to be fooled. And you're not going to be offended by the stuff that I say. You're actually going to be like, you know what? Let me see what he's talking about. What Jesus is he mentioning? This is why the title was basically called that. History of the many Jesuses, or whatever. I guess I forgot to put the yes at the end. What up, bro? Impala, 158 Impala. Good to have you here, brother. You're like one out of two. It's crazy. Nobody's here. All good. You're gonna get to hear some really important, powerful stuff, man. So the scriptures that we just went over was what? Self-awareness. Now this is I'm gonna play this video. I'm gonna play some videos and then we're gonna get into it, okay? Because I want to share this with you. All right. Remember, keep in mind that the many Jesuses that we dealt with, and this Jesus here in this character that we're looking at, he's the one that told all these evangelicals, right? These Zionist evangelicals, Jesus loves them. Jesus loves everybody. But you know how many children they've separated from their parents? 100,000 kids so far they've separated from their parents. These are evangelical fucking Christmas Christians that voted for children to be separated from families and that are okay with your so-called U.S. citizens getting shot in the face. You see, when you're aware now what this religion has done to you, has done to us as a collective, group, because a lot of our people still worship this Jesus, white and black. They still worship the Virgin Mary. And that's like the Queen of Heaven. The Bible said, don't worship the Queen of Heaven. They named her the Queen of Heaven, and you guys are still following it. Think about that for a moment. Be self-aware, because once you know what's going on, you're not going to fit everywhere else. I've talked to a few brothers. They're like, bro, now that I'm bringing this shit out, now a lot of you brothers are powerfully speaking back and giving this information or questioning this Christmas Christians. What about this? And what do they say? They don't have an answer. They don't even want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about. This is the stuff that I knew they would never talk about. You see, remember, y'all got married for a reason. Your wife or husband was unique. You thought it was he or she was the only one in the world that would be that way. All right? And you fell in love and all that shit. And you married whatever, all that shit, right? Well, what if that wasn't true? What if he was just playing a role with you and he was like that or she was like that with everybody else he or she dated? And you're like, wait, hold on a second. So you dedicated that song to them? Yeah. But I mean, I didn't know you at that time. Wait a minute. So you called her or called him so-and-so? Like all of a sudden you start finding out that your imaginary, unique religion and faith was only meant for you because Jesus only came for you. Fuck no, man. There was a lot of them. That's what happens. Get over it. Wake up.
Truest words was from Nietzsche when he said that any man who knows too much can't fit in anywhere. And that's a curse of awareness. Once you start to delve underneath the surface, that's when you realize this whole world, it's not so simple. And you start to notice who people really are and the games they're playing.
That's what I'm talking about, family. If they were able to pull this fast one on us, imagine what else imagine what else they're doing. These nations from afar came with a division and individual mindset. They took away our communal concept, the way we took care of each other. They call it communism and shit. We just call it, I want to take care of the elders and I want to take care of my little children. Because that's what we do. We take care of our elders and we take care of our children. They don't give a fuck about that. And that's what they want you to be like. That's why you don't know your neighbors. Once you're aware now, once you know what this religion, this New Testament has done to our people, you're going to start realizing why separation is their motto.
And that fake confidence, all the ulterior motives. And you realize this whole society, it's built on lies. And people, they're sheep. And once you see that, you can't unsee that. So you try and tell people, but they say to you, no, you're overreacting, you are crazy.
That's exactly what I get. Matter of fact, on Facebook, right? Like I got brothers that, now they're just calling me a Canaanite, saying supposedly like, it's not a Jesus, problem. It's a Canaanite problem. Right. The Canaanites were the ones that were worshiping the mother, the Queen of Heaven, and the Virgin Queen of Heaven and her son. The Canaanites were worshiping that. But yet you're calling me a Canaanite. No, I've woken up. I literally can see things so clearly now that I've let go of so much like heaviness. Once you knew, there's nothing that I fear at all. If somebody came to tell me, oh, well, God ain't real, okay, I'm still not going to lose my morale. I choose to believe there's a creator. Maybe you atheists don't. Hey, that's fine with me. But I think we have a lot of examples to know that there is a creator out there. Because even science goes through so far, they can't even explain a lot of things. Eventually, they just kind of call like, wow, fucking miracle. That's the least you can say, right? But once you're aware that there's only one creator, never sent his son to die for your sins. On the contrary, he was warning us in an Old Testament that there was going to be a Queen of Heaven woman and her son coming in his name. Look it up.
So you stop talking, but you're still observing, you're still watching, but you know you don't belong anymore. And it's not because you think you're too good for anyone. No, it's because you've seen too much and you're watching everything, and now you know you can't go back to how it was anymore.
Why a lot of these Christmas Christians or believers in the New Testament, they don't want that. They don't want to slip into that slipping into darkness type of shit. Because I guess you could say it is scary when you don't know what's on the other side. You don't know what awaits. You look at me like I'm a demon. I mean, seriously. We'll see those later. That's what you see. But here's what I see. Again, this is not about politics. It's about the people that voted for this to happen. It's about
all right, so we got to talk about
the people that voted for this to happen. You got, what's his name? So-called American Cholo trying to act like he's Mexican, Honduran motherfucker. He voted for Trump, and he publicly said that on his channel. He got about 80,000 followers or 100. So this is what he wanted? Hey, American Cholo, this is what you wanted? 100,000 children separated from their families? Hondureños, just like you too. Mexicans, Venezuelans, Somalians, there's other nationalities, but mostly ours. Y'all voted for this, huh? This is your Christianity shit. Because I remember that fool said, well, like Latinos, he says Latinos, right? Latinos we're like very conservative. You know what I mean? We don't agree with that whole like, like gay shit, whatever, like homo stuff, or blah, 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 blah. Like he's supposedly Mr. fucking Christmas Christian and shit, right? Worshiping a demon, Jesus. Doesn't know nothing of the Bible, but he believes in this, and he votes based on Jesus. This is what you guys are doing. Raza, when you're pushing that New Testament, that's what you're doing. What came in 1492? In what name did they fucking kill us? In the name of Jesus. Yeah. Did they accept us like supposedly they were accepted? No. We are not. We don't see eye to eye. They'll never accept you, no matter how white you want to be.
About this here, man. So shout out to Status Quo and Jordan Sheridan. They're on the ground in New Jersey at Delaney Hall, where you have a hunger strike going on, where all these people held in this ICE concentration camp are protesting the horrific conditions that they're in. So you have a bunch of people slammed into a cell that's way too many for that area. You have like 1 or 2 toilets.
Conservatives and Jews. Fuck you, Jews. Fuck Israel. Fuck all you goddamn Zionist bastards, bro. Yeah, I fucking said that shit. And I am not anti-Semitic because I am Semitic. And I could prove it with my DNA. So fuck all y'all. They voted for this shit. Conservatives, Jews, evangelicals, all that shit. Supposedly they believe in a God that loves people. Or Jesus that said he came to save everybody. This is who they are. And as long as you keep pushing that New Testament, this is what you're supporting. Because when you really show the pictures of what is in that side of the whole entire Bible, you realize why wicked people can fuck with the Bible. You realize it.
That are clogged and disgusting. You have people getting sick left and right and all over the place. You have moldy food that they're being given. It's just totally inhumane conditions, violating people's constitutional rights. It's cruel and unusual punishment. It's just a horrible, horrible thing to see. You have families being torn apart. You have people showing up. You have, kids that are having panic attacks and people that are suicidal because the family's being ripped apart. Just a horrible thing. One person talked on camera to Jordan and Status Quo, and then ICE caught wind of that, and they wanted to retaliate against them, and so they banned them from seeing their family member. This is just, it's literal like modern day fascist shit. This is fascism. It's here. It's happening, right? And it's in the flavor of anti-immigrant insanity, okay? Let's start with this clip here. Again, shout out to Status Quo and Jordan Sheridan. Donald Trump is the Antichrist. You are his soldiers. So here we go. This is from the protest outside, and let's see what we have.
I'm fucking out here. I'm from Kansas. We're gonna come from wherever the fuck it takes. My full name is Robert Cody Billings, and I'm not afraid of any of you. Donald Trump is the Antichrist, and you are his soldiers, you fucking losers. What if they kidnap your kids? What if they kidnap your mom?
Go to church every Sunday. They get on their knees and pray to this white Jesus. Or black one. Whatever the fuck nationality you think he is. How in the world can Jesus, such a good God, supposedly, deal with wicked people? For example, you brothers, whoever is listening, there's only like 3 of you listening. I'm telling you, man, I'm a very hurtful man, I guess. I hurt people's feelings. Because this is what it is. I'm hurting people's feelings. It's not even about, I'm not even hurting their mind, bro. I'm hurting their feelings. It's not about logic. It's not even about faith, family. It's about feelings. These motherfucking people don't want to let go of the New Testament because it's a feeling. They feel Jesus. Do you understand? These people feel Jesus too every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? As long as you keep pushing that Roman doctrine, we are never going to change. Or you're going to get destroyed. Looking forward to that.
What if they kidnap you?
That's a great question. What if they kidnap your kids? What if they kidnap your mom? What if they kidnap you? Well, they don't think about it like that because it's not happening to them, so they don't care.
Bombshell from GOPLS. It says, report reveals that ICE has separated over 100,000 children from their families. These are your Christmas fucking Christians. These are the people that you sit down. These are the ones you marry, by the way. These are the ones that you try to claim that we're all the same people. These are the ones you say, oh, Jesus loves everybody. The Bible's for everyone. These are it. Y'all sleeping with the enemies. But then you want to come and try to convince us that we're like they love us. But really, bro, you must be stupid.
Look at this. Bombshell. Report reveals ICE has separated over 100,000 children from their families. 100,000. So this is a ProPublica article. More than 100,000 kids have had a parent detained in immigration sweeps, report estimates. Since the Trump administration doesn't track how many children have been separated from their parents by immigration detention, a Brookings report tried to calculate it, and it cited ProPublica's reporting. So this is incredible stuff that we're talking about here. They say, in response to the Brookings findings, the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees ICE, sent an oft-repeated statement that the agency does not separate families, adding that parents are asked if they want to be removed with their children or instead to have them placed with a person the parent.
You hear that? Bro, listen, these white people are trying to tell people that Hispanic or indigenous people are willing to let go of their kids. Who kicks their kids out when they turn 18 and who sends their mothers and fathers to a fucking nursing home when they turn 65 because you don't want to take care of them? And you're saying we give up our kids? Bro, I'll give up my left fucking nut before I give up any of my kids. And I don't think I'm the only one that looks indigenous that would say that shit. You understand me? Total fucking bullshit. 100,000 children. Yes, I'm upset. Damn fucking right I am. These are your Christmas Christians. These are the ones that, voted for Trump. The conservatives, the Jews, right? The fake ones. Khazars, we all know who they are. They can't lie to us no more. They push this shit. Look, listen, family. What's going on over there in Palestine? Aside from the World Cup and all that shit, the reality is what's going on in Palestine. They're bombing children, killing mothers and fathers and sons and whatever. They don't care. You see, these Khazars, Nazi Jews, fake ones, converts, we know this stuff, right? They hate people because they hate themselves. They want to use the Bible to claim that God chose them. You are the least person to be chosen. Aside from the fact that you don't even fit the Bible practically at all, I'm going to show you exactly how these people look at you and I. Okay? They don't look at you with a happy face. When they see you, Hispanics, so-called indigenous, right? They see Palestinians.
Que es un criminal sionista, lo digo abiertamente, él apoyó a Trump y es íntimo de Netanyahu. Entonces, cuando llegó Netanyahu a Dallas, Texas, que había un grupo de judíos o israelíes, no sé cómo se diga ya eso, le decían, oye, ¿por qué persigues tanto a los palestinos? Y les dice, los palestinos son para nosotros los israelíes lo que los mexicanos son para ustedes en Estados Unidos. Entonces yo veo la palestinización de los mexicanos en Estados Unidos.
Con todos los componentes.
¿Cómo?
Con todos los componentes, porque primero Estados Unidos le roba el territorio a México, después le termina de construir un muro, después los ataques xenófobos y racistas por un componente étnico y religioso también. ¿Qué falta?
Bueno, falta el último capítulo. Vamos a empezar a ver, hay que tenerlo en el escenario, una gran discriminación.
And in case you missed it, because a lot of you guys did miss it, a lot of you guys don't care, listen to what he said over here, okay? Watch this.
Vamos a empezar a ver, hay que tenerlo en el escenario, una gran discriminación sobre los mexicanos. Eso a mí me queda muy claro. Y Estados Unidos, porque aquí la pureza blanca del WASP, del racismo, supremacismo, es igual que la pureza inventada de los nuevos judíos del siglo XXI, que ni son semitas. Lo digo con responsabilidad. Hoy uno llega a Tel Aviv y el 25% habla ruso. Son de origen házaro. Los házaros, lo digo también con definiciones puntuales.
Hold on, sorry. No. I want him to say this right here. This right here, okay? Let me play this again. There's a part that I want you to listen to.
Y les dice, los palestinos son para nosotros los israelíes lo que los mexicanos son para ustedes en Estados Unidos. Entonces yo veo la palestinización de los mexicanos en Estados Unidos.
Con todos los componentes.
¿Cómo?
Con todos los componentes, porque primero Estados Unidos le roba el territorio a México, después le termina de construir un muro, después los ataques xenófobos y racistas por un componente étnico y religioso también. ¿Qué falta?
First of all, they steal our land, they put a wall, then they say the ethnic genocide. Oh, well, I'm sorry, what? Wait, what? Did you forget about eugenics? You know, 1917 fumigation baths that our sisters and brothers used to have to deal with every fucking time they cross the border? That's called genocide. Fumigation. That's where they got the concept from, the Nazi bullshit. That's why a lot of people question that crap because, you know, as we understand now, Khazars love propaganda. They love making movies, by the way. As you can see, they like to imagine shit. Create stuff. Make it so dramatic. But this is not drama. This is fucking happening to our people here. Who do you think runs the cartels? You think it's these motherfucking dumbasses selling, you know, marijuana and coke and crisp? Bro, they don't run shit. Government, Mossad, CIA, FBI, all of them run shit. So all these hardcore, supposedly Mexicans that, hazme una pinche canción de rancho, cabrón. Porque yo soy un pinche matón, güey. Fuck you. You bend over for Mossad. I'm sick of it, family. Because these are the same bastards that go and worship the fucking Mary of Death. I mean, seriously. I'm done with it, bro. I'm done, man. I've lost my patience with you Christmas Christians, with all of you guys. Because you know what? This information, I'm not the only one bringing this out. I'm just very, like, strong about it. But there's other channels that have been sharing this. I mean, Bill Cooper talked about it, even though he pushed the line and lied in the stuff that he said in some ways, which is what tricks people and confuses them. But he was saying a lot of stuff. The problem is you guys are afraid to listen.
Bueno, falta el último capítulo. Vamos a empezar a ver, hay que tenerlo en el escenario, una gran discriminación sobre los mexicanos. Eso a mí me queda muy claro. Y Estados Unidos, porque aquí la pureza blanca del WASP, del racismo, supremacismo, es igual que la pureza inventada de los nuevos judíos del siglo XXI, que ni son semitas. Lo digo con responsabilidad. Hoy uno llega a Tel Aviv y el 25% habla ruso. Son de origen házaro. Los házaros, lo digo también con definiciones puntuales, son mongoles centroasiáticos. No son semitas. En Estados Unidos, que es un criminal.
So you understand now. Let's continue real quick. We're going to move on from this real fast.
Designates. DHS said this is consistent with the practices of past administrations. However, guidelines for ICE officers encountering parents have changed. A document known as the Parental Interest Directive was given a new name under Trump, the Detained Parents Directive. Its preamble, which once instructed agents to handle immigrants and parents in a way that was, quote, humane.
In charge of this whole concept, this whole part, Stephen Miller. He is a so-called Jewish person. Khazar predominantly, right? They said that they look at Palestinians like they look at us, or they look at Mexicans like they look at Palestinians. Stephen Miller is in power right now. He makes decisions. He's the one passing these laws. You think he gives a fuck about our people? These are also conservatives. They voted for Trump. They go to church every Sunday. They worship the white Jesus. And then tell you, right? They'll sit on a corner in a park and give you a pamphlet and say, my Mexican little beaner son. Oh, look at my little beaner. Oh, hey, look, there's a little Mexican beaner over there. Hey, give his mama a pamphlet because Jesus wants to bless her. It's fucking silly.
Has been stripped of that word. So now in the official rules, before it was you have to treat people humanely. Now they officially got rid of humane. You don't have to treat people humanely. They've separated 100,000 kids. I remember in his first term, when there was just a couple of examples of that, people flipped the fuck out, he panicked, and he reversed that decision.
85,000 to be exact. So far, Donald Trump, in his 2 presidencies combined, he has deported or separated more than 85,000 children from their parents. Not white, mind you. 90, probably 8% being in like our people, indigenous. That's your Christianity right there. They go, oh, he's anti-Christ. No, he is exactly what he was meant to be. That's what he was brought for. To do just that. So I hope that what I share with y'all today completely hurts your fucking feelings, man. Especially all of you that are pushing this doctrine. Because you're going to have to answer to some of this shit pretty soon. Here we see, let me see if I can find it. We have this book called Christian Worship, Its Origin and revolution. Okay? Christian worship, its origin and revolution. Why is this important? Because you need to know exactly how this religion was manufactured, how it was given to you. You see, this, and it's funny that I just simply searched Dionysus in this book, right? And I found that name 26 times. Now, why would this book called Christian Worship, Its Origin and Evolution, why would this name, just right off the bat, why would it be in there? What does Dionysus have to do with the Christian religion? Now, if you guys been listening to this channel lately, you would understand exactly that's a rhetorical question. Obviously, we know what Dionysus is now. Hey, what up, bro? Good to have you here, man. Brown Ray 1503. What up, bro? Let me read a little bit of it. Because I think a lot of times we read with intent, but sometimes we miss a few things, right? Let's just ask ourselves. This is Christian worship, its origin and evolution. Why the hell is Dionysus in there? Because Dionysus is in Maccabees, remember? Right? Let's read this. If we'll go to right here. Under the latter category, mentions must be made of Antioch as one of such centers from the middle of the 3rd century onward. On a various occasion, we find the bishops of all Syria gathered together there, as well as those in Eastern Asia Minor, which shortly after was to become the Diocese of Pontus. As early as year 251, this is 251, Common Era, we find mention of a synod which must have been held in Antioch on account of Fabius, bishop of that place, appearing to favor Novatianism. Okay? So you see what's going on? Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? Just pretty standard. It says, was a early Christian sect devoted to the theologian Novatian that held a strict view that refused read missions to commune of lapsy, those baptized Christians who had denied their faith or performed. But the point being is this. It's a sect. Meaning what? The branch. How many of those do we have in Christianity? Many. The promoters of this council were the bishops of Tarsus, Caesarea in Palestine, and Caesarea in Cappadocia. See, the promoters of this council. So in these cities, like, people believe that. Now watch. After a few years later, 256, Dionysius of Alexandria, and enumerating the churches of the East which had been disturbed by this conflict, mentions those of Antioch, Caesarea, and Palestine, right? Tyre, Macedonia, and all those cities, right? Let's let me see if I could. Should I continue reading it? Nah, I'm just gonna point out Dionysius, all right? Because I got more to show. We're gonna dismantle Jesus first, and then we're gonna go to Paul, and then we're gonna go to Virgin Mary, okay? So here we see Dionysius the Areopagite makes mention of this procession and the custom of chanting a hymn during it, but he does not give the text of a hymn. But that's in, I guess, Greek. What does this word mean? Where are you at? It means Dionysius the Areopagite was a 1st century Athenian judge who converted to Christianity through the preaching of Paul, the apostle, and became the first bishop of Athens. You see? Interesting, isn't it? Yeah. Dionysius the Areopagite again. So let's continue. Let's just skip that. Let's go to here real quick. Hold on, let me give you one. Hold on, let me see. The pseudo. Oh, that's why I put pseudo Dionysius. That's why. Give me a second. See, the given church, Rome adopted the Alexandrian computation under the form given by Dionysius Exeges. Dionysius, yeah, that's a person. Pseudo Justin The letter of Saint Dionysius of Alexandria, but listen, that's probably him. All right. So let me, oh man, I had one translation. I must have forgot. Did I write it down? Hold on. Give me a second. Fuck, I didn't write it. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me put a video. Let me look for it because I know I wrote it. I know there's a reason why I did that. Okay, I have that book for a reason. Let me play this video real quick because I was already intending to play it anyways. And I get it, at least I get a chance to look for it instead of making you guys wait real quick. This is called Jews, Freemasons of British Columbia. It's a heavy point right here, okay? It's a few minutes, so listen in.
La Virgen de Guadalupe no bajó del cielo. Fue el invento más divino del imperio para someter con fe a los mexicas, aztecas, otomis, chichimecas, etc.
But nevertheless, it's interesting to see that they were so focused and so interested in the Hebrew scriptures that they wanted to found a country based on its dictates. The Hebrew language was also very popular. It was very popular in the place of higher education in those days. In fact, until today, on the old universities, Harvard and Yale, the Ivy League schools, you can see God's name or various other words written in Hebrew on the seal, the emblems of the schools. At the time of the American Revolution, interest in Hebrew was so widespread that members of Congress proposed that Hebrew be the official language of this country. He says that the Puritans, the early settlers, when they emigrated from England, they looked at themselves as reenacting, as paralleling the Jewish people leaving the oppressive Egypt. England was the oppressive, slave-driven society of Egypt. The king of England was the new Pharaoh. The Atlantic Ocean was the Red Sea that they were now crossing through. And America, the new promised land, the new Israel. They were the new Israelites that wanted to establish a new covenant with God in the new promised land.
So let's go to the exploration of America. How is America a Jewish project? The whole idea of the separation of church and state, where did that come from? Well, that's also a Marana project. Persecuted by the church, some of these persecuted people said, wait a minute, maybe religion and state should be two different things. At its exploration, America came out of a Hebraic project, desire to go back to what once was, in the time of the Bible, a Hebrew republic.
Kabbalah was an ancient mystery tradition that Jews adopted in Egypt and then brought to Palestine and incorporated into Judaism. And this is why Solomonic knowledge, which often, of course, is extolled in Freemasonry, was seen as a kind of Egyptian knowledge.
watching is the Abrahamic blessing.
And get a great big missile and blow that wicked dome of the rock plumb off of the spot where it's standing right now, so we can get that third temple rebuilt and usher in the coming of Jesus.
The golden age of America begins right now.
A destructive force of 85,000 tons of explosive.
New Pope's prayer at the Vatican, his translator claimed Mary to be God.
And let us ask for this special grace from Mary, our God.
After all, who can blame the translator since many Catholics, if not all, literally worship Mary?
The worship of any other than the true and living God is to worship a demon. You don't get to God by making an idol and doing the best you can.
The Roman Catholic Church teachings and doctrines will not lead you to believe otherwise because they elevate Mary at the level of deity.
If her eyes are upon you, your salvation is assured. Now, think what that means. It means if she turns her gaze from you, you're toast.
Can't get any clearer than that, can it? Not at all. Now remember, keep in mind the video said they tried to make the Hebrew language mandatory, right? Like a Hebrew republic, so to speak. I've shared this book with you guys many times. I'm glad that it was brought up again incidentally, I guess you could say. Jews and Muslims of British colonial America. In that book, I shared with you how the Jews, Sephardic, and Muslims had the upper hand over our people. That's why Psalms 83 is perfect in all its sense. This book right here. The Jews and Muslims of British colonial America, right? And Elizabeth Hirschman and Donald Yates. This is a heavy-duty book. You even see the name of Esau in here. For real. Esau. No denying that, is it? I'll give you a little bit of this, and then we'll move on. I just remembered it as it was mentioning in the video regarding trying to make this a Hebrew republic, so they say. It says, we postulate that many of the initial colonists, were of Sephardic, Jewish, and Muslim Moorish ancestry. Psalms 83 is real. Usually arriving as crypto-Jews, meaning secret, with their religious adherents, disguise, and crypto-Muslims, these immigrants, illegals, I should say, served in prominent economic, political, financial, and social positions in all of the original colonies. That's why you have like some of these like Negros and shit, like predominantly West Africans, Canaanites for that matter, claiming to be Moorish and shit. They go by because, like, you know, there's history about these people coming with these people in those colonial times. Yeah, I'll read a little bit more. It says, what is even less frequently mentioned regarding the Spanish and French settlements, keep in mind that these were Spaniards. So these Sephardic Jews, these Moorish motherfuckers were Spaniards. Black folks too were Spaniards. That's why when Negros want to tell you you're a Spaniard, boo, tell them to shove it up their culo. They're the first fucking Spaniards. Right? A lot of these people were dark-skinned. That doesn't mean they were African, you know what I mean? But they were tan, dark-skinned. They were Swati, bro. They weren't all blonde, blue eye and shit. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. What is even less frequently mentioned regarding these Spanish and French settlements and voyages is that many of the colonists and sailors were of Sephardic, make sure you put a K at the end, Jewish and Muslim Moorish descent. And everybody's crying for these Muslims. Right? Did you guys forget they came to do that shit to you? In the name of Jesus. Several of those abroad, Christopher Columbus
first voyage in 1492, and famously even Columbus or Colon, Culo himself were of Jewish ancestry. They were Jews of crypto or crypto Jews. A side point real quick. Okay, just a side point real quick. Because a lot of times you guys don't even know that this is what they're saying about you. You know? Like you don't even realize that in their books, they actually say something. Let me see if I can find it. No, that's not it. Let's see. Where are you? Hold on, let me see. Okay, yeah, I had the name wrong. Let me show this to you. This is why it's important that you guys know. Oh, hey, hold on. God. Oh, excuse me. Oh, it needs a comma? Are you serious? Give me a second. What the hell's going on with this? I need to read this to you guys. You don't want to miss this. Where the fuck is it at? Here it goes right here. This book. Okay. Remember, keep in mind that these people, remember what they were saying in the video? They wanted to make this a Hebrew republic. This book is called Jews, God, and History. Remember who came? Sephardic Jews, right? Remember this book? Remember they said they were trying supposedly to make Hebrew a mandatory language. On page 371 of this same book, let me go through all this section here. And just to remind you, all right, it says here, as a footnote to history, we must record the fact that the Indians, not Africans, not Canaanites, none of that shit, indigenous gente like you and I, the fact that the Indians on the Caribbean island where the flotilla first landed were greeted in Hebrew and Arabic by one Luis de Torres, translator, a Jewish interpreter aboard the flagship. For Columbus was certain. How? Because he read the scriptures. He was Jewish, right? The natives spoke either Hebrew or Arabic. Now, did they say, no, we were incorrect? No. Matter of fact, they confirmed it without having to confirm it. It was de Torres, incidentally, who discovered maize and brought it to Europe, where with the potato, it enriched the diet of the Western man. Do you understand how they agreed they admitted it without admitting it? Yeah, we spoke to them in Hebrew or Arabic, and they sure as hell fucking spoke it. Leaving ourselves open to the charge that we credit the Jews with everything. We must also note that it was not Sir Walter Raleigh, who introduced tobacco to Europe, but de Torres and his Christian companion, Rodrigo de Jerez, which was a crypto Jew. So they're saying here clearly that they knew of you. That's why, what do you think back in those days, in those times? They don't write about this stuff. They were trying to make this a Hebrew language mandatory or making it a Hebrew republic. If you continue reading this book, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. There's a lot of shit you don't even know. Look, the first and second British colonies in North America, Virginia, Massachusetts, were provisioned, funded, and peopled by persons of Sephardic Jewish and Muslim Moorish descent. You see? So, fuck you, Moorish dumbass idiot. You're not from here originally. You stole this fucking land. You had the help of a white man. That all of a sudden now you hate each other. It's kind of funny. Current genetic genealogical studies of the Appalachian descendants of these early colonists demonstrate that they carry DNA haplotypes, male or female lineage, and genes from Sephardic, Ottoman, and North African founders. See? Further, these early North American colonists often bore straightforward Jewish and Muslim surnames, attested are Aleph, Saracen, like the Saracens, which is what King James basically comes from. King James bloodline is a Saracen bloodline, in case you fuckers didn't know it. But what do I know, right? What do I know? I'm telling you, man. This is as good as it gets. Now let me show you this real quick, since we're on this topic. Let me start closing these up. Matter of fact, I grabbed that by accident. I should have probably never even brought it up. Let me go here. I want to go to right here. So I've shared this to you guys before, Diodorus Siculus. It talks about, and I shared, as a matter of fact, this is where the whole stupid ass old world dumbasses or like wobbles want to say that supposedly black folks were in this land, they found it and shit. They want to say that they found it empty. Not at all. Here, Diodorus Siculus clarifies it. Now, that's one thing I've shared with you before. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Watch this real quick. Now, Diodorus Siculus is a Greco and around 60 before Common Era, okay? Pay attention to this real quick. He knew about this guy. Come on, don't freeze on me, please. Not right now. Come on, bro. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready? Hold on a second, family. My computer's acting stupid. Come on, dude. Here we go. Yep. There we go. That's it. Just come on. Can I? There it goes. All right, ready? Here it goes. So we find this name Dionysus. Right soon. It says on 1.11.3 of the ancient Greek writers of mythology, some give to Osiris the name of Dionysus. Now, keep in mind that the scripture said to the Israelites when they left Exodus, do not follow the ways of the Egyptians. Osiris is an Egyptian, right? Now, Osiris, or let me just say it to you this way, Dionysus is the same exact story as Jesus, which means the same exact story as Osiris. It says, or with a slight change in form, Sirius, like, the phone. One of them, Eumolpus, in his Brachyheim, speaks of our Dionysus shining like a star. Doesn't that sound like Jesus? With fiery eye in every ray. While Orpheus says, and this is why men call him Shining One and Dionysus. I don't know why it's doing that now. Let me see. Let me close this up. Maybe this will help. So we see here, right? Let's continue. Now it says here that, just to say, Osiris, when translated, is Dionysus, and Isis is more similar to Demeter. Isis meaning the mom. Osiris is the son, Isis is the mom, or Demeter is the mom, and Dionysus is the son. Similar to Demeter than to any other goddess. And after Osiris married Isis, meaning the son or the father, had kids like Nimrod, This is the story of Nimrod. And succeeded the kingship, he did many things of service to the social life of man. Dionysus. We see this right here. When you look up Dionysus, you start finding out that, look, I'm not even going to read all this stuff, but you can see the connection between Dionysus, Greeks, Phoenicians, Egyptians. They all knew this stuff. They all practiced Christianity, basically. Like, they named this something else. The mom and the son. The mom and the son. It's always been about that. Consequently, the Greeks, too, in as much as they received from Egypt the celebration of the orgies and the festivals connected with Dionysus. See? Honors this member in both the mysteries and the initiatory rites and sacrifices of this god, giving it the name Phallus, which goes back to Ham or Canaan or the Ashereth pole. Ashereth, the mom, like a tree. The number of years from Osiris and Isis, they say, to the reign of Alexander, who founded the city which bears name in Egypt, is over 10,000, but according to other writers, it's little less than 23,000, something like that. Right? So we see this name, for they say that Orpheus, upon visiting Egypt and participating in the initiation and mysteries of Dionysus, adopted them as a favor to the descendants of Cadmus, since he was kindly disposed to them and received honor at their hands. So you understand what we're going through here? And I want to remind y'all that this Dionysus is exactly the same story as Jesus. Dionysus, by the way, okay, let me go here. Osiris has been given the name Serapis by some Dionysus. Now, in case you guys don't know, and I should have shared this with you guys maybe. Did I have it? Oh, yeah, it's right here. Watch this real quick. This is from Hebrew and Christian. Here, let me go. What page are we in? 86, right? I'm going to show you. Page 86. Keep track of all these books that I share with you, or links. This is volume 2, Hebrew and Christian Records, okay? Christian Records, volume 2. Let's go to page 86. No, sorry, too far. Look what it says here regarding Serapis, all right? It says the Hadrian Augustus to Sylvanus council, health, Egypt, which you used to praise to me, my dear Sylvanus. I have found it to be wholly trifling, inconstant, and ready to move at every impulse of public talk. There are Christians who worship Serapis, meaning Dionysus, and devoted to Serapis are those who call themselves bishops of Christ. There is in that country no chief of a Jewish synagogue or Samaritan or Christian presbyter who is not also an astrologer, an augur, and a trainer of athletes. So in case you're training athletes, back in the day, they were butt naked. So, you were, you know what I'm saying? You were hearing all their private stuff. The very patriarch himself, when he has come to Egypt, is compelled by some to worship Serapis, by others Christ. See? When you look at history for what it is, you start seeing them. It starts making sense. And then you get less attached to your feelings. I feel Jesus. Jesus, help me with my feelings. It's not about your feelings. These are facts. Let's look at this real quick. The Mithraic cross of light refers to the cosmic rays of illumination and divine truth from Mithra and Mithras, an ancient Indo-Iranian deity worshipped across the Roman Empire. See, Mithra was worshipped by the sign of a cross and a man on it. Do you understand that? You see that? Right there. In actual Mithraic subterranean temples, the most common cross-like symbol found is the Cusat cross, the X or diagonal cross. Inscribed within a circle. Inscribed within a circle. Imagine that shit. I'm going to go fast on this point because I need you guys to really pay attention. I've shared this link with you guys many times. And this right here, like, literally tells you a lot of what's going on. Roman Mithraic beliefs are no different than Christianity. Roman Mithras were perhaps the greatest rival to early Christianity for many reasons. As well as being a popular pagan religion practiced by Roman armies, Mithraism had many similarities to Christianity. Mithra, like Dionysus, basically, that's what it is, was born of a virgin, remained celibate. His worship involved baptism, the partaking of bread marked with a cross, a wine as sacrificial blood, held Sundays sacred, and Mithra was born December 25th. Mithrites called themselves brothers and were led by priests called Father or Peter. The symbol of the father was a staff, a hook sword, a ring, or a hat. See, that's the thing that you guys don't want to accept. The similarities are they're too close for comfort. It's too close for comfort. It's like you're in wood shop. And you know how far you want to hold that piece of wood. You're not going to hold it to the point where your finger may get fucking cut. No, bro, like that's too close for comfort. I'm not going to get burned by being lied to. The New Catholic Encyclopedia Records, Volume 3, page 656 says, the birth of Christ was assigned the date of the winter solstice, December 25th in Julian calendar, January 6th in Egyptian. That's why some of y'all worship the fucking Tres Reyes and the January 6th. They do this shit in Mexico a lot. You fucking Mexicans are stupid, bro. Because on this day, as the sun began its return to the northern skies, the pagan devotees of Mithra celebrated the Dies Natalis Sol Invicti, birthday of the invincible sun, on December 25th. 274, Common Era, Roman Emperor Aurelian, and proclaimed the sun god, the principal patron of the empire, and dedicated a temple to him. And in the campus of Martis, Christmas originated at a time when the cult of the sun was particularly, or I should say, like obviously strong at Rome. Fool me once, fool me twice. I mean, come on, bro. This is Dionysus. This is Jesus. When you start looking beyond the obvious stories that they give you, you realize how and where all of this came from. You're worshiping Romans. You're worshiping Hamites. Like basically, it is common sense what these people did. In case you guys never caught it, one of the most important videos that I played was this here. Right? Watch this real quick. Okay. I'm just going to play the first part. Listen, it's in Spanish, so for you guys that speak Spanish, pay attention.
Viene a decirnos con mucha firmeza y gran convencimiento lo mismo que nos decía en el siglo XVIII el barón de Holbach, un filósofo francés de origen alemán.
This part right here. Talking about how people invent religions for insecurities, for whatever reasons, and government or people in power obviously manipulate that for the benefit of them. Because as long as they have you in control, you will kill your own loved ones for the belief of their religion.
Si nos remontamos al comienzo, entonces hallaremos que la ignorancia y el temor crearon a los dioses. La fantasía, el entusiasmo, el engaño los adornaron, desfiguraron. La divinidad les rinde culto, la credibilidad los conserva, la costumbre los respeta y la tiranía los apoya para que la ceguera de los hombres sirva a sus propios intereses.
See what I mean? That's it. That's the reason for the control. That's the reason they create these religions. And make you and like replay it over and over like a what do you call it? Like a sitcom. Keeping you entertained. Just giving you enough where it may make sense. Go to church, eat the Eucharist, drink the wine. That's Jesus in you. As long as you do that, you're good to go. Oh, it's echoing? Oh, you mean the other video? Yeah, I know I did that. Hopefully did you guys understand it? I think you should have. I would highly suggest to look into this. And you'll see how you've been fooled too. You'll see. Remember the name Orpheus? Orpheus amulet from the cover of Jesus Mysteries. Remember the book I've been sharing with y'all? And Orpheus matter of fact, who mentioned Orpheus? Diodorus Siculus. Right. Before Jesus. Correct? Remember, I'm going fast because I want to, dismantle this shit. Now, this is from Hymes 26 to Dionysus. We translate it. It says, for Dionysus, the ivy of Dionysus, the son of the brides, who was nourished by the brides, received by his father, and received a bosom and a garment title. Nices in the glasses, and what the father had eaten, and a man in fragrant manner is immortal. Because the gods had nourished him with much praise, and when he was studying according to the material of the ships with ivy and laurel, and he fell. This is like writings from Aristotle, basically. Aristotle knew of Dionysus as well. It wasn't just Diodorus Siculus. This is the book that it references. The mysteries, the Jesus mysteries was the original Jesus pagan. I've shared this book with you guys before. Diabolical mimicry, Son of God, the Nativity, baptism, miracles. This parallel between two. You know what that means? The Son, the Father in the sky, comes down to a mortal and creates a baby, which is called the fishers of men. You see this? The circle. The circle. The spirit, Zeus comes and impregnates this woman. There's the baby. It looks like a fish to go fish for men. They fooled y'all. They fooled me. The good man and his disciples, part of the parable, the riding on the donkey, already been told. Nothing new under the sun, family. Absolutely. Nothing new under the sun. I know that hurts a lot of people's feelings. I'm not here for that. We read that already. We saw this picture here too. I think. Oh wait, hold on. This is that's right. This is. I'm sorry. I'm glad I didn't just cut it. This is the Mithra. Hold on, let me see. The mysteries of Mithra. In the mysteries of Mithra, it does talk about sacrifice. And this particular mystery of Mithra was supposed to die for the sins of man, to cleanse them as a child. That's why when you hear about child sacrifice, it's where you get, like distorted people. A newborn will wash away the sins. Distorted. Look it up. I'm only giving you the sources. Giving you that link. Zoroastrianism. What is this stuff? A monotheistic pre-Islamic religion of ancient Persia founded by Zoroaster in the 6th century before Common Era. What is Zoroastrianism? Zoroastrianism is one of the world's oldest religions and philosophical belief systems. Now, these guys are the ones that mentioned Ahura Mazda, which people in India do understand what that is, right? These guys are basically Mithraic. This is no different than the Mithraic religion. No different. We're going fast. Just want to get these things done. I've shared this link to you guys before. I'll do it again. Plato. Paul wrote in the Republic, but such are true racers arriving at the end, both receive the price and are crowned. Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians 9:24, do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. To be carnally minded was death. Paul said the same thing. Here we see glass darkly, but eventually we'll see it better. Paul said the same thing in 1 Corinthians 13:12. He also quoted Cicero. Then we ought not to retaliate or render evil to anyone, whatever evil we may have suffered from him. But 1 Thessalonians 5:15, make sure that nobody packs wrong for wrong, but always strive to do what is good for each other and everyone else. How is not that the same thing? In case you guys didn't know this, also in the talks of Paul, he does speak in a Mithraic way. Paul in the religion of Mithras, I was just sharing with you. The infiltration of the Mithraism in Christianity, because he does speak that way. In the mysteries, like the mystery teachings, right? Mithraics are very mystery teaching type. Paul talked a lot about that. Paul in the Mithraic teachings. As a matter of fact, look, I'll even share this link with you so you guys can see it for yourselves. Because I'm going quick, right? It's hot as hell in here. Sorry. I don't think I can handle it no more. Last, a couple of things more and then we out. What are the mysteries in the rosary? Well, I bet you guys didn't know that. The mysteries of the rosary are 20 pivotal events in the lives of Jesus, Mary, that provide a focal point of meditation during each decade of the rosary. Like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? There's mysteries? Yeah, there's joyful mysteries, luminous mysteries, sorrowful mysteries, glorious mysteries. Like, what are we doing here? Yeah, because it's all under Mary, the Queen of Heaven. This is who you guys are watching. The Old Testament kept warning us about this. Look, man, I'm telling you, bro. The mother and the son. The mother and the son. The mother and the son. Madonna and the child. Spiritual goddess. Ishtar, same concept. The mother, the milking woman. I'm going. These are prayers to her, like the rosary. This is homage to her. All kinds of prayers, fam. I'm going fast because it's too hot in here and I got to finish it up. Goddess Artemis, Diana of Ephesus, mother of all. Look, Rome. Statue of Liberty should give you a good reminder of what that is. Start closing these up. Here we see a book. Let me see, what page are we in? Let me go back. Boom. Watch this real quick. It's called, oh my God. Apuntes históricos y críticos sobre la aparición de la Virgen María. 1895, okay? Pay attention to this real quick. I'm just going to translate it. Here, I'm going to translate it. I'm going to do this. Let me go like this, because I think a lot of you guys are hard-headed, and you don't believe. Now you think I'm lying. A lot of people like to believe that we're lying because it doesn't benefit their feelings. There it goes. Watch what it says. Oh, what? It doesn't let me copy it? What? No way. Oh, man, it's never done that, bro. Oh, what a dick. Wow, that's fucking crazy. Let me read it. It says, no hay información original sobre la predicha aparición, ni existe ni ha existido información original. Así lo confiesa el mismo Padre Sánchez, que fue el primero que con admiración de todos publicó en el año 1648 la historia de la aparición y después todos los defensores de ella. Algunos se atreven a asegurar que realmente existió la información original. He aquí sus fundamentos. Dicen que I don't know what that is, Romo, señor de García de Santa María, arzobispo de México, electo en 1600 y muerto en 1606, leía con gran ternura dicha información. Prueban esto solamente con una serie de dichos particulares. When you continue to read this book, right, you realize that the Virgin Mary never appeared to Juan Diego. Like, I'll show you. Just read that and then we're almost done. It's hot in here, man. Let me see. Go to page 42. Watch this, okay. Let me see. Los dichos diferentes pero no. Hold on, maybe we'll go to 50. Here it goes right here. It says, falsedad de la aparición de la Virgen de Guadalupe. Todos los autores que tratan de la aparición dicen los católicos mexicanos convienen que al desplegar Juan Diego su tilma cayeron las flores y se mostró pintada la imagen de María. Esos autores decimos nosotros carecen de sentido común o creyeron que México sería siempre una nación de frailes, pues lo natural era que el indio desplegara su capa enseñando las flores y no dejándolas caer. El plebeyo o el plebe de Tolpetlac estaba instruido para dejar caer las flores y enseñar lo que pintado iba en el ayate. Lo que dicen de la Virgen dio a Juan Diego como prueba que era madre de Dios fueron las flores, y ni el indio hizo que Zumarraga fijara su atención en ellas. Basically saying like Zumarraga didn't even acknowledge this. Then it says here on page 41, and then we out. Los españoles no creyeron lo que dijo Juan Diego respecto a la aparición, ni tampoco en lo que expresaba Juan Bernardino, porque para ellos los indios eran irracionales o judíos, ¿sí? They thought you guys were Jews. Y se necesitó que el Papa Pablo III los sacara de su error por medio de su breve de 10 de julio de 1537. So they're saying like only the Pope can write a law for us not to be hurting them because these Jews did something. Here they explain that, well, you know, it's because like they believe that the J upside down is what do you call it? The I is a J, so you flip it over, whatever, this and that, right? And then it says que con el transcurso del tiempo, basically after a time, you know, that letter flips right over. Then it says, let's see, hold on, let me start reading. Hold on. I'll start reading. Los conquistadores, indio vuelta a la N, de arriba a abajo quiere decir judío, y podemos azotar a los indios y exigirles todo el dinero que se pueda, porque son hermanos de los que crucificaron a Jesucristo. If that was true. But they knew the Jew were a real Jew. Sorry, family. I gotta go, man. It's too hot, or else I would go. Sorry, I did go pretty fast at the end, man. It's my bad, dude. My bad. I just, you know, I gotta go. It's hot in here. I can't handle it no more. Anyways, I'm gonna finish it with this video. I wish I could. Man, I wanted to share this with you guys. Fuck. Shit. I'll play it in another class. Let me mark myself here. I didn't even get to show you guys that. Crazy. Do yourselves a favor. Hey, I'll just even share it with you. Look up the word Vatica. Vatica is the goddess of death. Vatica is the goddess of death. In case you guys don't know. Let me play a couple videos to finish it and we out.
No, they
weren't. Side point. I don't know this brother.
Black people.
I sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, I guess maybe I don't see eye to eye with him. But he did a good message. And you know what? It's funny. Because he's got a lot of subscribers. But there's only 1,500 views. 285,000 subscribers and only 1,500 views with 165 likes, including mine, right? So it's like, it doesn't make sense. This is why I want to play it. Hopefully you pass the message. All right, let's go. We're almost done. Just going to show these and that's it.
No, they weren't. Black people carry haplogroup L, which is indigenous to West Africa, particularly the mutation code L2 and L1, which are indigenous to West African populations, particularly Nigeria, Benin, Ghana, and Ivory Coast, and the whole area along the coast of West Africa into Central Africa, like Angola and places like that. So Black Americans are not indigenous to the Americas. Yes, there is indigenous populations that are black skin across different parts of the world. For example, in Asia, the Papua New Guineas, the Aborigine Australians, the Negrito population, the Andaman Islanders, all these people are dark-skinned populations. But guess what? All these dark-skinned population in the South Pacific and Asia have very unique genetic mutations and very different haplogroups from West African or other African populations. They are unique to those places, and every single one of them will tell you that they came from those regions. So there's no debating. Nobody argues that those people are indigenous to those places because they have documented history, linguistics, and also genetics that connects those people to the land. But when it comes to Black Americans, they don't have no unique language, they don't have no unique culture, they don't have no unique genetic traditions that connect them to those particular regions. The indigenous mtDNA, the indigenous genetics to the Americas, are haplogroup A2, B1, C1, X2A. These are the maternal haplogroups in which all indigenous people descend from in the Americas. No black populations in the Americas carry these genetics unless they are mixed with Native Americans, because Native Americans are the groups that carry this particular genetics that makes them indigenous to the Americas. Meanwhile, black people, Black Americans, descend from L1, L2, and L3 populations, but particularly the L2 and the L1, and also L0, which is a ancient. Please stop the nonsense. For example, Papua New Guineas, the Andaman Islanders, the Negrito population of Asia and the South Pacific have specific genetic mutations. They have things that connect them to the land. And the degree of separation from ancient African populations that left Africa hundreds of thousands of years ago, it's very different and unique to those places. Black Americans don't have a degree of separation from West Africans. Okay, so another thing, this is strong proof that Black Americans, Black people in North, Central, and South America are descendants of Africans. For example, traditions, especially religion. You have voodoo in Haiti, you got Santeria in Cuba, you got orishas, which are spirits that come from West African traditions, and you also have candomblé in Brazil. All these African religions, all these African traditions are a marker of identity across the Americas. Throughout the Palenques, the Maroon colonies in the Americas, the Black people founded, they brought their African religions to those regions. And
hey, look, we got a funky Negro here and shit. We got a funky Negro calling himself Yahoo. I was the first one to be pushing that shit. You guys always catch it up late. Mexicans were never in Egypt. No, we're West Africans, unless they were enslaved. Listen, man, let me tell you something. West African Negroes, right, predominantly, right, like you guys brought smallpox to the Americas. White folks brought French pox to the Americas, but you guys brought smallpox to the Americas. So shut your fucking ass up about you trying to be some fucking Hebrew. I will debunk that dumbass shit in a minute. We can do it. We can go to Deuteronomy 28 and we'll stay there all day. I'll bet you cannot get out of it. But may go ahead over. And what the fuck does that even mean, right? Wouldn't that be a curse? You guys would flip it if I said that about you guys. If I said Negroes had over 20,000 homicides, well, that's the curses, Hawk. You would say the same shit. You're stupid, bro. I've dealt with a lot of people like you. Listen, man, you guys are all talk, but once you start finding out that I know what I'm talking about, you run. You never will debate my shit. I will put you guys right back into Canaan, bro. Trust me.
could be traced back to West Africa, to places like Angola, to places like Nigeria, to places like Benin, to places like Ghana. So music itself also is another source of...
Here, look. Here's where he gets emotional. Yeah, wicked heathens. Yeah, wicked heathens. Here, I'll show you something. I'll entertain your dumbass. Real quick. Deuteronomy 28, all right? Let me ask you a question. This verse right here. The Lord will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emerods and the scabs and with the itch, wherewith thou cannot be healed. When did Negroes get smallpox here in the Americas? When did Negroes get smallpox here in the Americas? Yo soy de Mexico, pendejo. You think I don't go down there? You think I don't tell people this all the time? I do. And what does that even make a difference? So what? Anyway, look, listen, I asked you a question. The Lord will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emerods, and with the scabs, and with the itch whereof thou cannot be healed. When did you Negroes, West Africans, you people like you, get the botch of Egypt here in the Americas? When? When did you get smallpox? You brought smallpox. You didn't die from that shit. The smallpox was an endemic disease within the West African, continents, right? The West African side of Africa. That was an endemic disease. That means you guys dealt with it. That means you guys could take care of it and fix it. You could get sick from it, but you wouldn't die. When you motherfuckers showed up with the white man, we were decimated by that fucking disease. Scriptures talk about that exactly. That would happen to the Israelites. Now, let me ask you another question, you Yahoo Sefer. When have y'all been connected to corn at all? Because corn is in the Bible. As a matter of fact, masa, which is made out of corn, is in the Bible. And it's pronounced masa, which is called unleavened bread. What the fuck do you guys know about masa? What do you guys know about grasshoppers? When we talk about your diet, when the hell did you hear about Negroes eating grasshoppers? We still eat grasshoppers in Mexico. I don't need the curses to prove who I am. But we can go through it. Right? Here's where it gets interesting. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. What ox? If you were supposedly brought over here. What ox did they fucking take from you? Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given to other people. Yeah, that happens to a lot of nationalities. Matter of fact, right now, 100,000 kids have been separated from their parents. Our people, not yours. Now, the fruit of thy land and all thy labor. What fucking fruit of thy what land? If you supposedly were taken out of Africa, how the hell does it apply to you? And then which king? Verse 36. Which king? Yeah, we're never slaves to blacks in Egypt. Okay, let's talk about slaves now. Did you know that Negroes owned slaves since 1492? You guys even fought with the Confederacy to own slaves. Do you want me to show you? Yahoo Sefer, do you want me to show you that you guys own slaves? Yeah, I didn't build shit. Okay, show me one fucking crew of a bunch of Negros, right? Building a house. When have you seen a crew of Negroes building a house, bro? What construction company have I ever heard of that's all black folks building homes? So show what y'all did in Egypt. What do you mean? What do you mean show you? What do you mean? What did you guys do? You guys were slaves over there. We kicked you Canaanites out. That's what we did. You don't even know how to spell that shit, bro. That's how fucking dumb you are. That's not how you spell Canaan, dumbass. For you to be talking about the Bible, naming yourself Yahoo Sefer, and then you misspell Canaan, what the fuck do you mean? You were never in Africa. You want to see have you ever seen the statues of the pyramids over there, bro? Like, they look more like our people than they look like you. The only pictures I ever see about African folks over there in Egypt were being enchained and shit. Or you were like on sandals on the bottom. Egyptians didn't like you guys, man. I don't know why you think maybe they were your brethren, but they sure as hell didn't fucking like you. But you see how this guy's avoiding all the stuff that I'm bringing out, family? He doesn't even address none of the stuff that I'm bringing out. I brought out the emerald scabs in Egypt. He said, like, we weren't in Egypt. But then I said, okay, when the fuck did you guys get scabs here, like in Egypt? When the hell did Negroes get smallpox here in America? I'm asking you, Yahoo Sefer. I'm giving you the time. When did you Negros get smallpox here in the Americas and decimate? And we're decimated by smallpox. Like in verse 60 and 61 talks about that shit. It says here in verse 62, and ye shall be left few in numbers. Right? When did that happen to you guys when you came here? When did you guys get few in numbers because of smallpox? You can't prove it. You see, you're just a dumbass. I'm telling you, man, you came to the wrong channel, bro. You can bring any of your BHI captains and shit. I'll still smash their asses. It doesn't matter what you think. Yahoo, it doesn't matter what you think. I'm proving it with the book. I'm proving it with the book. I asked you, when did you Negroes even eat grasshoppers? When have you heard of Negroes eating grasshoppers? Never. When have you heard of Negroes dealing with masa, unleavened bread? Never, ever, ever. When have you heard of these Negroes eating ceviche? It was just in the Bible. Never. When have you heard of these Negroes wearing fringes? Never. When? Never. Never. Never few in numbers, clown. That's how fucking dumb you are. Really? I'll do yourself a favor. This is why I laugh at you fucking Canaanites, bro. Because you guys are so simple fucking minded. You get so emotional that you got to capitalize all your fucking, comments and shit, right? Like, listen, I'll say it like this, dude. There's a book called Global Indios. A very simple book called Global Indios. And in that book, there's a lot of references regarding our people being all over, scattered all over the place. Matter of fact, let me show y'all before we leave. Because, I enjoy dumbasses like him. Canaan is so easy to defeat, bro. You guys are simple. Fucking emotional bastards. You guys can't even think right. Not even a legitimate conversation. At least ask some important questions and shit. Here's a map from that book, in case you guys want to see it. It's called Global Indios, okay? And you see this right here? This is all over the places where our people were taken from. Were taken to. From Mexico, all over these places. How do they know? Because they were there's actual records, court records of our people fighting to be free. Asking the judge to look at their enslavement and show that they are from Mexico and they're not from Africa or India or anywhere else where you could be a slave. At this time, they were fighting against slavery already. I'm telling you, don't be fooled by stupid asses. Listen, look. He goes, hey, look, he says, stay in the Bible. Okay, Yahoo Sefer, then how the fuck do you know you got scattered? How do you know you got scattered? How do you know you got scattered? If you don't use outside sources, outside the Bible, how the fuck would you know you got scattered? You obviously would have to read. Obviously, you would have to learn about history and the way fucking countries dealt with each other. Bro, you're stupid. Hold on a second.
Fuck that puto. Fuck that puto.
Hey, look, he says, Mexicans have their own land. Have you read 2nd Ezra? Did you read 2nd Ezra? I said he was going to send, 10 tribes somewhere else. This is so funny, bro. See, look, like I told you, family, this is easy to debunk. These people are so easy to debunk. I literally proven to him that none of these things no verses that I brought up to him ever deal with his people. And he can't even say anything other than, I don't know, Negroes through Africa, Negroes scattered, not Spanish, Latinos, Ryan Garcia is not Israel. Yeah, okay, fine, sounds good. I don't give a fuck about him. Like, what the fuck? Is he like my brother and shit? I should care. Dude, this is funny, bro. This is how I know you guys are so simple-minded. You're so fucking... Look, like I care if Jennifer Lopez is not... Dude, it doesn't matter to me. If she ain't good. If she ain't, it's all good. I know for a fact you ain't. That's for a fucking fact. That's for a fucking fact. You can't prove a damn thing from Deuteronomy. You haven't addressed not a damn fucking thing. All you've done, kid, here, I'm going to put you in a little bit of timeout for a moment and shit. All you've done, honestly, is just made comments. You didn't address this. You see, I didn't sit here and say stuff to you and not mention it, not address it. No, I said, okay, let's go to the Bible because you say, let's stay in the Bible. So I stay in the Bible. You don't want to talk Bible. Then I mention something about us being scattered. Here's global angels. And you say, stay in the Bible. You see, family, this is what I mean. This is why these men leave their women. No wonder these women are fucking fed up with them, bro. Son una bola de pendejos, güey. Now I understand why they used to love me so much. Whew. Now I know why y'all hated me. Anyways, I think we're all done, fam. All right? I've had my moments. Let's finish this up.
Showing that black people are also from West Africa. For example, the call and response tradition in music, the rhythmic pattern in drum playing and rapping, which came from Grot, from West African Grot, which is a tradition, a poetic form, that all comes from West Africa. So trying to distance yourself from West Africans, to me, is insane. Another thing is food traditions in the Americas, especially among black populations. For example, the plantain, the plátano frito, and many other African dishes can be seen in Afro.
Hey, look, I knew it, bro. Oh my God, it's this fucking guy. Yeah, right, guys. Yeah, he's a Trump mate. Right. Let him be, man. It's all good. What about that fucking Charleston White? Have you seen Charleston White? He fucking dressed up Confederate. He says he wants to enslave Negroes. That's what he said. He wants to enslave. You know what's so funny? Man? Like, you guys are the first Spaniards. I just literally brought up a book that explains how the Jews and Moors and other Africans, north from Africa, were actually coming here with them. Like, you guys were Spaniards at that time. The first Spaniards were fucking Negros, bro. You don't know that, do you? Let me see if I can find it. Let me let it play so they can learn. Because you know what? This is why I laugh at them. And a matter of fact, I've given these fools a link to see if they really want to debate this shit. They never step up.
Latin and Afro-Caribbean traditions, which you could trace back also to West Africa. They like to claim that not enough black people were brought to the Americas. Why would black people be brought to the Americas from Africa where there were supposedly people already here? Which is nonsense. For example, there are records that show that 15 million Africans came from Africa. But a lot of these dishonest people who like to push that there's no records, there actually is. The only thing, they're only looking in the English records. You have to remember that the majority of slavery happened under Portuguese.
You know what's funny? This is what I laugh about Negros like you. Like, ICE needs to send y'all back to Siberia, Spain. Like, they wouldn't send y'all black motherfuckers to Africa. Like, seriously, dude. Like, this is how stupid you are. For the moment you lick the white man's nuts for him to hate us. So you're like, hey, white man, I'll lick your nuts if you hate these people. That's how weak you are. Like, literally, you're involved the white man in this conversation. It's kind of, well, maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Maybe he's an Edomite. What the fuck's the point? I know for a fact you're a Canaanite. That's without a doubt. See, that's even the funny part. You're laughing at yourself.
Spanish and Dutch, and also the English and the French. So when you want to look at records, you need to look at the whole holistic records that exist, not only in English, you have to look at it in Spanish, in Dutch, in French, and in Portuguese, and other European languages that exist. But if you don't believe it, you can look it up yourself. There are actually archives in Spain, there's archives in Portugal, there's archives in France, there are archives from Holland, there's archives from from England, and there's archives from the French. So
funny video. Hey, VTC, I hope you're sticking around, bro. Well, this one's for you, brother. This one's for you, brother. I thought it was funny as fuck, dude. This shit was funny. Hold on. Let's see if I can run it real quick. Where you at? All right, here we go. Thank you, bro.
My name is Jamal, and I'm a TikTok Indian. I do not speak an indigenous language, only English. My mother and grandmother did not speak one either. But I say I am Indian, following a TikTok trend. I'm not a professional genealogist, so when I saw a genealogy record that said one of my ancestors was an Indian, I just assumed they were black because I'm black. But he could have actually been a Native American. I hate DNA tests too. DNA tests are fake, man. I saw a lizard take a DNA test and the result said he was black and European, man. But DNA tests are used to identify missing persons, reunite families, and find lost relatives. But they can't tell me my ancestry, homie. Leave me alone. So they're accurate when they agree with you, but fake when they don't? That's different, man. You wouldn't understand. Man, when I see those dark drawings, I just know those Maya and Aztecs were black, man. I mean, sure, I know there are dark-skinned Native Americans too, but still.
Do you speak Maya or Olomouc?
No, man. I only speak English and Pig Latin. Those are indigenous languages too, right? Look, I'm doing the best research TikTok University can offer. But the oldest DNA in America belonged to a black man, Albert Perry.
Albert Perry wasn't ancient American DNA. He was a modern African-American man that belonged to haplogroup A0, a lineage associated with Africa.
Oh.
5 minutes ago, you hated DNA.
Native Americans are Siberians, man. They look like Siberians, and their DNA is Siberian too.
So-called Siberians? But you look African too, and your DNA is African. So by your own logic, wouldn't that make you African? And why are you wearing Siberian regalia then? Well, if they're just Siberians, why are you dressing like one? Man, we were the original Indians. We were Egyptians too. We were the Jews too. We were Moors too.
How can you be all four? And why don't you speak any of those languages?
Man, we were aliens too.
Wait, if you're an alien, then how are you indigenous? At this point, you're collecting identities like Pokemon cards.
But Howard Coma on TikTok said I'm the real Aboriginal, man. Nah, man, he's just some random dude on TikTok.
So why do you believe him?
Because I like him, homie. He says what I want to hear.
So your source is basically a TikTok guy?
Yeah, man. TikTok University. Class starts at 8. The Omuckas were black, man. Look at the lips and noses. Ivan Van Sertum said they was black. Thick lips and wide noses aren't exclusive to black people. And Ivan Van Sertum never said the Omuckas were black. He didn't? No. He argued that African explorers may have reached the Americas and traded with Native Americans. So I've been debated people online for years over something he never said? Pretty much. Man, TikTok done set me up again.
Vicky's Town Chronicles.
Shit was funny, dude. Hold on.
Oh, that's gotta hurt!
Oh, wow, that was funny. Okay, so now this is for you, Chiwiwi. Oh, that's right. Hold on a second.
Made by claiming I...
Oh, not that one. Hold on, this one. All right, so Chiwiwi, this one's for you. Okay. You were asking, wondering, we bring proof here. I don't just say shit. You know what I mean? I got no problem with people that don't have a problem with my gente, but when I find out that you had something to do with that shit, yeah, I'm gonna fucking bring it out. This is you and your forefathers.
Y entonces ocurre un fenómeno. Se descubre América. Los primeros esclavos que van al Nuevo Mundo son blancos. Sí, señor, blancos. Y los primeros negros que van al Nuevo Mundo son esos que tenían ya 50 años o más de presencia renovada y que eran negros ladinos y preparados militarmente para la conquista. En la capitulación de Toledo, que firma Francisco Pizarro en Toledo con la reina Juana, en el 29º, otro sí, pide 50 esclavos, entre los cuales debe haber un tercio de hembras, y se aprobó. Esos eran negros ladinos. Y estos negros ladinos ayudaron a la conquista y recibieron los mismos honores o los mismos castigos cuando los indios vencieron que los españoles. Pero los primeros esclavos fueron blancos, porque la esclavitud no reconocía color hasta esa época. Y la prueba está que en el siglo XIII, cuando Alfonso X el Sabio redacta las 7 partidas, en una de ellas, tomando quizá algo del Código Justiniano, dice que no es de natura esclavizar a otro hombre. Entonces la esclavitud casi estaba abolida. Revive con el descubrimiento de América y sin noción de lo que iba a hacer esto se mandan blancos. Ahora, no vamos a decir que los blancos llegaron encadenados. Se mandaban a los blancos por castigos, se sacaban de las cárceles, porque estaban en la inopia y iban en una forma de contratos temporales que ellos mismos pudieran manumitirse. Y 1000 formas diferentes para esclavitud.
Sometimes that hurts the feelings. Sometimes that hurts the feelings. The African American, many rivers crossed. Page 3. It says, if not all the first explorers and conquerors of New Spain were European, it is equally important and surprising to many of us to note that not all the first Africans, like this idiot over here, who assisted the Spanish, criticizing, he's like, your daddy east of Spain. This is how stupid he is. You don't even know that his people were like literally the Spaniards of fucking the old time. Hey, listen for a moment. This is not Ebonics. This is real fucking talk. To note that not all the first Africans who assisted the Spanish and Portuguese came as slaves. Not the contrary. No, not at all. An untold number of free people of African descent. Free. Scriptures say otherwise, right? I thought the Israelites were supposed to be enslaved. I thought Negroes were supposed to be enslaved. Not at all. You guys brought smallpox. You guys came with the Spaniards. You guys were Spaniards too, also by title and by birth, like citizenship. And you own slaves. Yeah. And now you want to sit here, come to this channel like as if we don't fucking know history. Nah, you're the real Spaniard. Canaanite. It says, an untold number of free people of African descent, Canaanites, black invaders, not conquistadors. Y'all didn't conquer shit. You brought smallpox. Obviously, we're sick. Black invaders, dirty Negroes, born in Africa with smallpox or on the Iberian Peninsula. You see that? In Africa and the Iberian Peninsula. So, like, they've mixed with these Europeans. Like, they've been mixing with them. Listen, Africa and Spain is just a skip and a hop, okay? So that's why, let me pause for a moment. That's why when you actually read the Bible and you know what the book is saying, you'll know damn well that this verse 49 does not apply to these motherfuckers. Deuteronomy 28:49 says, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Y'all were skipping a hop away from each other. You know each other. You've been fucking around forever. What do you mean? Verse 36 says, the Lord shall bring thee and thy kings, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there thou shalt serve God, wood and stone. See, it says here that you guys would never know the white man. Here we see, like, y'all were fucking, you know what I mean? Like, you do it in jail and shit. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, Morenos love white boys and shit. An untold number of free people of African descent brought smallpox. Black invaders, dirty bastards, born in Africa or on the Iberian Peninsula, dirty bastards, also accompanied Spanish invaders, such as Hernan Cortez. You remember he said earlier, he goes, if we're Canaanites and you guys are Hernan Cortez, you might rape babies. You came with them. The fuck you mean? This is how we know you don't know your shit. Hey, by the way, the Willie Lynch letter was a lie. They lied to you about that. I proved that shit too. It says here, as Hernan Cortez and Ponce de Leon, two of the famed explorers of the vast region that would become modern Mexico and the western southern regions of the United States. And as we might expect, their exploits were just as heroic. Oh, y'all suffered so much, huh? Really? Really? You fit the curses? The white man brought you in slavery? Fuck no, bro. They lied to y'all. Just like they lied about that white Jesus, black one, whatever. Y'all worship the New Testament, you're fucked. This is part of that concept. They used the New Testament, told you these lies, and made you believe it. And as we might expect, their exploits were just as heroic and just as problematic as those of their fellow invaders. But far more West African Canaanites came with the Spanish and the Portuguese as slaves, servants with varying degrees of freedom, attendants in armed adventure. You see that adventure? Y'all had fun. You want to call a spick, wetbag, beaner, alien? Go for it. It don't hurt us no more. Not at all. Not at all. Because we know now. We know exactly who you are. We know who they are. We know who we are. We have history now. We can fucking read now. Whatever you say does not bother nobody here. This is what you are. And you will always be that. See, that for us is a joke, which means you're a joke. And all of y'all are a joke. While the number of African explorers is impossible to determine. Oh, hold on. While the number of African invaders with smallpox, rapists of children, you know what I'm saying? Owners of slaves, disease-carrying bastards, the ones that helped the white man do what they did to our people. Just like the white man raped our children, the black man did the same shit in 1492. Don't run from that fact. They participated in some way in virtually all of the Spanish expeditions. What did that expedition require? Burning our people at the stake, right? Hanging them, shooting them, letting dogs chase them. Have you guys not seen all the other classes I've done? They had dogs of war. And these bastards fed our people to these dogs. Black people, white people who were invaders as conquistadors, so to speak, were feeding our people to dogs. You see, but they won't tell you that. No, they'll say reparations. Well, then they'll blame the white guy. But they won't go to facts and history at all. That's why they hate this channel. Because I'm not lying. This is not hate talk. This is facts. This is what you guys fucking did to our people. You guys said it was only the white man. You came here and said we're white like them, right? But you didn't know that this is what you guys did. Now you're all fucking quiet, right, aren't you? Now you're all quiet now. Y'all don't fit the curses. You never were, never will be. When you get into Deuteronomy, you get destroyed and broken. I go to your house and I embarrass y'all. That's exactly what I've done. I went to your home, went to Deuteronomy 28, and I said, no, you guys don't fit none of that shit. Explain that to me. And that's why nobody fucks with this channel. It says here, let me read it again and we're done. While the number of African explorers is impossible to determine, they participated in some way in virtually all of the Spanish expeditions. In the New World and in the 16th century, these black invaders who carried smallpox with them as well set an examples of subsequent racial relations throughout the entire Spanish colonial experience, living their daily lives at degrees of complexity that rarely would be achieved by black men and women in the early English settlements in the Caribbean and in North America. Indeed, listen to this. Remember this guy said this? Remember he said that? Like, we're Hernan Cortez, right? Then he says we're Spaniards and shit, right? And then you can call me a spick. Dude, listen, I'm a beaner. Fuck it, call me a beaner. I taught my kids, like, when everybody calls you that, matter of fact, I joke with them like that. So whenever they run into that word, like, that's funny. My dad used to call me that shit. I prepared them for the stupidity that they would encounter, like this right here. But see, you guys didn't know this. Indeed, wherever Spain set its flag of conquest in the Americas, that meant raping, slaughtering, feeding our people to dogs, burning them, hanging them, cutting their necks, cutting their ears, cutting their noses, cutting their hands, separating our women from our children, starving us, throwing us in pits, taking our land, forcing us to worship your fucking demons, whether it's a white or black Jesus. To this day, you try to do that again. Indeed, wherever Spain set its flag of conquest, in Americas, the Africans helped hold the pennant. You motherfuckers participated in the exploration of the lands that would become modern-day Mexico, Costa Rica, Honduras, Panama, Venezuela, Peru, Chile, and as well as Florida, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. You helped the white man all through and through. You fought with the Confederacy in 1865 or 1863 to keep being a fucking slaver. There is such a thing as Negro buck breakers. Don't go around trying to say shit about our people. You have no fucking clue. No idea what our people have been going through. Matter of fact, you know what, man? I'm going to show you this shit now. Man, I was going to leave it for later, but this was the last part of the class. I'm glad this fucking dude showed up. This is why it's so important to get rid of these damn New Testament keeping bastards. Stay away from these religions. You see this right here? The dark secret, right? You guys ever seen this, right? We're familiar with this stuff, right? We're familiar with it. Okay. That's called the Vatican, right? The Vatican. All right, now check this out. Look at that. Vatica, goddess of the underworld. That creeped me out. So in case you guys didn't know this, Vatica is the name of a goddess. Now, Christmas Christians will say that it's not related to Vatican. But when you look at the history about Vatican and Vatica, or who this character is, which is fucking creepy as hell, you start seeing that she becomes other gods. She is other gods. That's why the Old Testament kept warning us. That's why it kept saying, Etruscan goddess Vatica or Vaticanis is the archaic Etruscan. Vaticano with the cross. See this? Ancient order of the Hermetics. Etruscan goddess Vatica. Vatica or Vaticanus is the archaic Etruscan name of the goddess associated with the birth and the underworld. This name, also called Vaticanus or Vaginatus, later came to mean the Latin vagina, that is, female reproductive organ. The Vatican, really, which has its own lands in Italy, takes its name from this goddess. Hold on.
Let
me play that again. No. Well, no, not that one. Hold on. Not that one, dude.
Where's your moral code? Where's your soul? You preach 10 commandments, but broke every scroll.
That's what Christians did.
Where's your moral code? Where's your soul? You preach 10 commandments, but broke every scroll.
So we're connecting the dots now. Now, not only do we go through the whole concept of who Jesus is, the fact that Plato mocked or mimicked, the fact that Paul mimicked Plato, and now we understand the concept of this virgin, queen of heaven, goddess concept. You know what I mean? Like this whole bigger thing. Now we understand why the Vatican is the Vatican. Now we know why Babylon, the mystery, the woman, the harlot. It's the concept. Me particular, this is, matter of fact, I won't say that yet because I need to clear it up. But I am going to talk about Genesis 3:16 one of these days. Because I'm wondering if that serpent was something else. It says the Vatican, which has its own land in Italy, takes its name from this goddess. This was necropolis, that is a cemetery. They named it after the goddess Vatica, who was also associated with the underworld. Constantine, the first Catholic emperor, held a temple built on this hill, known as the Vatican Hill. A few centuries later, the papal palace was built. This is how Vatica, a pagan goddess of Etruscan origin, gives her name Vatican. Statues of the Etruscan goddess of the underworld, Vatica, who guards the city of the dead, or necropolis, where the Vatican stands today. The symbol in the middle of her forehead is the vagina, which is also the symbol of her own name, represents fertility. And it's almost shaped like a star. I'm telling you, this is a wicked ass picture. I don't fucking like to see it. This is the dark secret. Now, when you talk about this particular image here, this is why I wanted to make it an importance for y'all to know. The Ashereth pole basically means Ashereth, a goddess. This goddess represents a tree. Jesus died on a tree, technically a pole. Or a pole that looks, or a tree with arms extended like branches. So Jesus died in the arms of his mother, just like every other one, in the bosoms of his mom. This is very deep connected, but it should make sense to you. It should not be confusing. Because people like that show up to this channel and want to say something or claim to know stuff, they don't know anything. They think that, I'm going to call him a spick, beaner, wetback. Yeah, sure. I joke with my kids about that all day. It's like, I don't know, bro. It doesn't bother me, man. I don't know what you think. I don't know what you used to get. I don't know what kind of people you are dealt with. I'm from a fucking different cloth. You see these pictures? Why are they there? Because scripturally speaking, they shouldn't be. Right? Be mindful what you guys are listening to. Be mindful of the people that come in and start making comments and shit. Don't let these fools take your spirit away. Look, listen, their supposedly confidence is nothing else but fear. See, I'm fearless when it comes to all this information. They don't want to face it. They will never accept it. They won't go as far as I go. Because I'm not afraid. I know who my creator is. I know who my father is. That is what rooted me. That's why I don't fucking move. The Vatican City was founded in February 11, 1929. Supposedly, the city has a population of around 840, an area of approximately 108 acres. So we see this here. The name Vatican and the Etruscan goddess Vatica of the underworld, what is the connection? How could it not be? Remember, the Old Testament kept warning us. It said, what? Bible warnings. Like literally, I had to Google it just to help you guys. Let's see what the sister said. Thank you for this information, MESHIACHA Chronicles. Oh, I appreciate it. Oh, hold on, sis. Hold on. Matter of fact, you know what? I'll give you this one.
Where's your soul? You preach 10 commandments, but broke every scroll.
Nah, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I hope you appreciate it. Because this isn't a lie. I'm not giving you guys stuff that all of a sudden is going to get debunked. Not at all. This is exactly it. This is the bottom barrel of the shit. Like if you guys want to get bottom barrel information where nobody can go behind you, this is it. Who's going to debunk this shit? Bible warning about worshiping a goddess and her son. I mean, you can see it all over. 1 Kings 11. That's why I did it like this, so you could see how simple it is. You know, it gave us a warning the entire time. And the fucking nerve of this guy. The fucking nerve of these people, bro. It's like when you really, as a matter of fact, I got some pictures. Hold on, let me just get through this and then I'll show you. Yeah, let me show you this real quick. So I was looking at some pictures here, right? Looking at some pictures. I was taking some pictures of the book, the Bible that I have. Ezekiel 9:16, it says, and he brought me into the inner courts of the Lord's house, and behold, at the door of the temple of the Lord, between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men, with their backs towards the temple of the Lord, and their faces towards the east. And they worshiped the sun towards the east, meaning the son of the goddess, the moon goddess. So you have some precepts here. Right? You guys can go to it. But I wanted to do this for y'all. This is from a Bible dictionary, like from 1969. I found it at a flea market. Look what it says about Ashtoreth, okay? Idolatrous worship of or by Israel, Judges 2:13, 1 Samuel, by Solomon, 1 Kings 11, okay? And we see the constant name of Baal here. Worship of Baal. So here, Ashereth is Virgin Mary and Baal is Jesus. Do you understand what I mean? And you can confirm it. Please do. And question me. If you think I'm wrong, then bring me something. Show me something where I'm wrong. This is the mom, the Virgin Mary. This is the son. That's why they sacrificed babies to him. Because he was like the baby to be born to cleanse the sin of men and women. But mostly men, because at that time, that was what it was. Right? Numbers 22:41, Judges, you can see all this. His altar, his priest destroyed by Gideon. You see all this stuff, right? Baalim, Baal, Peor, all that stuff, okay? Now let's look at another name. Let's see. Is this it? Is this the same one? Oh, man, I did the wrong thing. I put the same picture twice. Okay. Now let's look at this one. I'm going to look at this word called groves. Groves. What are groves? You see, groves. Groves for worship. Genesis 21:33. Idolatrous forbidden. Deuteronomy 16:21. Judges 6:25. 1 Kings 14. Right? You see this, groves. Now, idolatrous worship. Now, who is this grove? This is Ashereth, the Ashereth pole, meaning like a tree, right? Or a pole with their arms extended or branches. When you consider what they have done to our people, how they have completely destroyed our spirit, put us back into just fucking jargon of nonsense, then you realize, bro, it's a lot easier to let go. For a moment, just sit back and be like, okay, let me reflect on this shit. Let's see if this is really true. I'm not lying, family. And don't be afraid, man. There's no reason to be afraid at all. King James says that in Jeremiah 32:33, it says, and they have turned unto me the back and not the face. Though I taught them rising up early and teaching them, yet they have not hearkened to receive instructions. So again, worshiping who? The son and the mother. It's not complicated, man. Who did these guys worship? Zoroastrianism, Mazda, Mithra. You see this? With Mithra, basically, being Dionysus, Mithra, was born of a virgin, died for the sins of man. He was a savior, son of God. They used the Eucharist. He turned water into wine. All of that shit, man. All of that fucking shit, Let's see what it said. Bitch XM, a high yellow brother. European, African American. Oh, he's a white dude. Hold on. Here he goes. This is what he is. And in case you don't like it, and to all you motherfuckers that hate this channel,
Fuck that puto. Fuck that puto.
but to my gente,
¡Viva México, cabrones!
to you hypocrite Christmas Christians,
But where's your moral code? Where's your soul? You preach 10 commandments, but broke every scroll.
to you dumb, crazy ass fucking cracker barrels,
I'm a traitor when they're scumbag Benedict Arnolds.
oh, where's it at? Where you at? They don't work.
Baby.
Yeah, well, hold on.
I'm not Eric.
Here he goes. This is what we're dealing with. But at least we know now. At least we know now, family.
I'm on a power trip. I'm in a total commitment against evil. I'm pouring out my guts, my soul, my family, everything I've got committed to this, and I will not have pieces of fucking shit lie about me and say I'm not true. I will fucking destroy you, scum, all of you.
Man, I fucking love it, dude. I love it. You know what's the most beautiful thing about learning all this stuff? There's just no fear at all. It allows you to focus on your family. It allows you to focus on yourself. It allows you to focus on your brothers. Like there's more clarity. The relationship with me and my father is there's no medium involved. There's no middleman required. It's just you and him. I mean, shit, look at the scriptures. Right? Let me just, real quick, and then that's it. I mean, if you think I'm lying, well then what does this mean? Deuteronomy 31:33 says this. It says, behold, in the days come, 31:31. Behold, the days come, say the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which they said not to worship the Queen of Heaven and her son, which my covenants they break, because you went back to Christianity, even back then, like Nimrod shit. Although I was a husband unto them, say the Lord. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, say the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts and write in their hearts, and we will be their God. And we'll be their God, and they shall be my people. Meaning like what I had shared with y'all before earlier, Isaiah 48, right? He told you before. He told us before. Israel refined. It says, verse 4, it says, Isaiah 48:4, it says, because I knew that thou art obstinate, and thy neck is as iron sinew, and thy brow brass, meaning like we're hard-headed. Got a thick fucking neck. You know what I mean? Takes a lot to like really make us realize some shit. I have even from the beginning declared it to thee. Before it came to pass, I showed it thee. Lest thou shouldest say, mine idol had done them, like these other deity people did. In my graven image, my molten image had commanded them. This is what they did. Jesus commanded them. I didn't say that. Right? He let us know. Thou hast heard it, see all this, and will not ye declare it? Meaning what? how they told us from the Old Testament. I have showed thee new things from this time, even hidden things. Thou didst not know them. I did not. No, honestly, I didn't know Freemasons. I always wonder, why do Freemasons mess around with the Bible? I just didn't get it. How do wicked people, how can they hold the Bible? It's like I'm not a murderer or a thief or fucking pedophile or like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not none of that weird ass shit that you would say, why are you hanging out with him? You know what I mean? Like some weird shit, right? Or like a coke dealer or tweaker shit, or you know what I mean? Like some, I don't know, I'm thinking of something extreme. Like if my spirit is not like that, why would I be hanging out with him, right? So I would always wonder, how in the world did wicked people get a hold of this Bible and play with it? Well, because they lied about it, right? It changes the whole dynamic. Thou hast heard it, see all this, and will not ye declare it? I have showed thee new things from this time, even hidden things, and thou didst not know them. No, I didn't until now. They are created now, which is why we see it, right? Being basically presented to us once more, and not from the beginning, because that really wasn't the case from the beginning. Remember, this happened after what? Nimrod's time, right? Even before the day when thou heardest them not, lest thou shouldest say, behold, I knew them. Right now, it says, yea, thou heardest not, yea. Wait, let me put it in this translation, because I'm sure you guys are going to be like, what the fuck is he saying? It says, only now I am making them happen. Nothing like this took place in the past. You see, if it had, you would claim that you knew all about it. You see? So now they were bringing this information out. Now, the BHI can't fucking take credit for this shit or Christmas. None of that. No. I knew that you couldn't be trusted at that time because I was broken, just like a lot of us were. That you had always been known as a rebel, right? The stiff neck. This is why you never heard this at all, why no words of it ever came to your ears. In order that people will praise my name, I am holding my anger in check. I am keeping it back. It will not destroy you. Then it says, I have tested you in the fire of suffering, as silver is refined in a furnace. But I have found that you are worthless. What I do is done for my own sake. I would not let my name be dishonored or let anyone else share the glory that should be mine and mine alone. So at this point, you have to understand, family. None of us should ever feel righteous at all. This is why I was so against this BHI shit. Like, why are you looking for like kingdom and glory and slavery and a bunch of women and shit and lots of money? Like, bro, like, doesn't repentance matter? Like, I can't even understand that. Like, bro, like, I thought you were destroyed. Why would all of these things matter? Wouldn't you want your sanity back, your spirit back, your wholeness back, your connection, communication, your ability to at least know that you are one with the Most High? Why wouldn't you want that back? No. You want money and power and women and shit. I don't understand that. Then it says, the Lord says, listen to me, Israel, the people I have called. I am God, the first, the last, the only one. That should say enough. You know what I mean? Hold on. All right. I guess I scared that dude. He's out of here. Anyways, man, let me see what's up. Let's see. He's a light skin. He's lighter than my Hewa. Hold on. Hewa Tlatoli teacher. My little brother is darker than you. I haven't seen his picture, dude, but I'm sure you got a chance to see it. It's endemic to Africa. Yeah, it fucking is. Yeah. Hold on a second. Whoa, they must have blocked your post that you made earlier. Hold on. A brother told me earlier that he doesn't get to post stuff on my channel. I don't know why, man. Let's see. No, it's endemic to Africa. If the grasshoppers are white, they eat them. Oh, shit. I'm rewinding, so if I sound crazy. All right. Yeah, I know what you mean. I was like, what are you talking about, dude? It's still out the way. All right, it's all good, man. Appreciate you being here, bro. Anyways, you know the rewind. You guys know what to do, man. Like that stuff. Hit it. You know what I mean? Pass it over to friends. Suggest the channel. Get some subscribers. this is not a clout chasing channel. This is not a channel that we ask for money. I've made it effort to make sure that I never ask for dough, and I'm gonna keep it that way. Was there ever a time where I thought, yeah, of course, but I never came to that. Scriptures talked about, man, sometimes when you give gifts to like leadership, bro, you can be you can become respecter of people. And I thought if I start asking for cash or, you know, donations, then I'm going to start moving my classes based on how much donations I get. And I didn't think that was fair for anyone that followed this channel with sincerity, right? I just didn't think it was fair. So I'm going to keep it that way. And we're going to continue to grow. And that's what we're going to do. All right, man. Oh, shit. That's right. I forgot. All right. I'm going to play a video real quick as a message. I'm going to do it like this porque no quiero que me lo quiten, güey. Here, I'll do it like that. Thank you, man. This is great. Hey, look, listen, I'm an athlete, bro. Well, at least I'm not an athlete anymore. I'm older now. But there was 2 sports I played, you know, soccer and boxing. I was more of a natural at boxing, but I was very good. I was naturally skilled at boxing, but I got to play soccer at a higher level, right? So I appreciate the sport. And matter of fact, I'm getting my license to coach. I have my daughter who's playing. She's 5, and she's actually, you know, they're pretty hyped up about her in the club. She's fucking talented for 5 years old. She plays goalie, and she's a forward. At 5 years old, she's already showing skills. So anyways, this goes out to you brothers out there, man, across the world. Appreciate this message. For all my gente down in Mexico, bro, you guys are making it really, really good for people to at least enjoy the World Cup. Because, again, it's entertainment. Remember that, family. No, it's entertainment. It's not your life. It's not who you are. You are more than that. This is just entertainment. All right? Other than that, I want to share this video, man. It's really nice. Good night after this. I'm going to play some songs and we out.
Mexico, you gave us more than a training ground and a bed. You gave us proof that hearts can still win against the headlines instead. When war tried to break us and visas tried to erase, you reminded us that people can still choose grace. We will carry this feeling into every match we play, knowing that somewhere in Tijuana someone believes we can stay, not just in the tournament, but in the story of what's right. Mexico, you turned darkness into light. One day the war will end and the visas will be old news, but the memory of your welcome will be the story we choose to tell our children when they ask about difficult times, about the country that opened its heart when others drew lines. You didn't fix everything, you couldn't stop the pain, but you gave us something powerful we can never explain. The feeling that even in the middle of geopolitical fire, ordinary people can still lift others higher. We came looking for a place to train and survive. We found something rare, a reason to feel alive. This is our thank you, not because you had to, but because you did.
When the world gave us tension, you gave us warmth. When visas became walls, you became the door. Mexico.
From a nation carrying war on its shoulders, thank you for carrying us for a little while. We will never forget Tijuana's lights, the cheers outside the hotel, the banner in our language, and the simple truth that humanity still wins sometimes with everything we have left. Thank you. We came carrying a dream, but war was already at our door. Visas became weapons, borders became walls. Then one country chose to open its heart instead. This is not just a thank you. This is our story of fear and the kindness that saved it. Missiles wrote headlines while we tried to pack our boots. Every night the sky reminded us of the cost of roots. We trained in Turkey with one eye on the news, wondering if the game we love would still have any use. The war wasn't on the pitch, but it followed us everywhere, turning the World Cup dream into something heavy to bear. Security concerns, threats, and names on lists we never chose. Suddenly our presence became a political pose. We just wanted to play, to run, to feel the grass, but every plan we made kept falling through like shattered glass. Then came the hammer. Visas denied for those who hold us up. Coaches, doctors, the federation president, all told not enough. 15 hearts who built this team from the ground, suddenly treated like threats instead of people we're proud of. Players got last minute papers, but only to commute. Enter the US for matches, then leave the same day like refugees in pursuit. Our original home in Tucson was taken away. We were told we couldn't even sleep on American clay. The war had already taken too much from our land. Now even the beautiful game wanted to take its stand. We stood in airports with bags and quiet fear, wondering if the dream we chased for years would disappear. Then Mexico spoke, not with conditions, not with fear in their tone, but with open arms that felt like coming home. FIFA asked and they said yes without hesitation. While the world debated politics and separation, Tier 1 to open its gates, Club Solos opened their ground. A banner in Farsi said Iranian cheetahs welcome, what a sound. We landed in the early hours with tired eyes and guarded hearts, expecting cold stares and distance, but instead we got art. The art of human kindness painted across every face. Mexican people waiting just to put us in our place, not as enemies, not as headlines, not as a political game, but as fellow players who also carry pressure and pain. Outside the hotel, fans gather with cheers and open hands, not because cameras were rolling, just because they understand that behind every jersey is a story the world rarely sees, and sometimes the simplest welcome can bring a nation to its knees. Mothers sent food like we were their own sons far from home. Children asked for autographs like we were heroes made of chrome. Taxi drivers spoke with love, not politics in their voice, telling us Tijuana was proud to give us this choice. We trained under armed security but felt safer than before, because the people around us chose connection over war. They saw past the missiles, past the tension, past the blame, and treated us like humans playing a beautiful game.
Mexico, you saw us when the world saw only war. You opened your city when others slammed the door. You gave us a better field and a reason to believe.
When everything around us was falling like autumn leaves. This thank you comes from every player who almost broke, from every fan back home who carried the heavy yoke. You turned a nightmare into something we could hold. Mexico, your kindness from love to grow. Every morning we wake up in Tijuana's warm light, knowing that tonight we might cross the border to fight, not with weapons but with boots and a ball on foreign grass. While the war back home still makes the future hard to grasp, we come to you like ghosts for 3 matches, in and out the same day, while Mexican people wave from the streets in the most human way. They don't ask about politics or who's right or who's wrong. They just smile and say play well like we belonged all along. In a tournament full of tension, you gave us a place to breathe, a small piece of peace in the middle of everything we grieve. To every Mexican who cheered when we stepped outside, to every citizen who refused to let politics decide. You didn't have to love us, you didn't have to care, but you chose humanity when the world chose to stand. Welcoming a team that felt rejected, feel like they belong, and that kind of love is louder than any war song.
If you watched my video this far, I want to take out this time to appreciate your support so far. We're not taking that for granted, and I want to say a very big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. That is the best form of support that you ever give us. Thank you.
Yeah, it was nice of that brother to do that, man. Beautiful video, bro. You know, you got my like. All right, family, play some songs and we out. Hope you appreciate the history of the many Jesuses. Jesus, when is this shit gonna fucking end?
Del mar los vieron llegar, mis hermanos emplumados eran los hombres barbados de la profecía esperada. Se oyó la voz del monarca de que el Dios había llegado y les abrimos la puerta por temor a lo ignorado. Iban montados en bestias como demonios del mal, iban con fuego en las manos y cubiertos de metal. Solo el valor de unos cuantos les opuso resistencia, y al mirar correr la sangre se llenaron de vergüenza, porque los dioses ni comen ni gozan con lo robado. Y cuando nos dimos cuenta, ya todo estaba acabado, y en ese error entregamos la grandeza del pasado, y en ese error nos quedamos 300 años esclavos. Se nos quedó el maleficio de brindar al extranjero nuestra fe, nuestra cultura, nuestro pan, nuestro dinero, y le seguimos cambiando oro por cuentas de vidrio, y damos nuestras riquezas por sus espejos con brillo. Siglo XX nos siguen llegando rubios y les abrimos la casa y los llamamos amigos, pero si llega cansado un indio de andar la sierra, lo humillamos y lo vemos como extraño por su tierra. Hipócrita que te muestras humilde ante el extranjero, pero te vuelves soberbio con tus hermanos del pueblo. Oh, maldición de Malinche, enfermedad del presente, ¿cuándo dejarás mi tierra? ¿Cuándo harás libre a mi gente? Antes del nombre América, antes del hierro y la cruz, había pueblos que hablaban con la tierra y con la luz. No era un mundo vacío, era ciencia y corazón. La historia empezó aquí mismo, aunque el invasor no pida perdón. Sembramos tiempo en el cielo cuando el mundo no sabía contar. El cero nació en la selva, el maíz nos enseñó a pensar. Antes del mapa, antes de ti había pueblos completos que no vas a entender. No éramos pasado, somos raíz, aunque nos llamen historia, seguimos aquí. Desde el barro del origen hasta el jaguar ancestral, desde la selva profunda hasta el águila solar, ciudades que eran mundos cuando Europa se partió, capitales que flotaban mientras el viejo mundo ardió. En la montaña aprendimos a vivir sin dominar, sin rueda y sin bestias, pero sabiendo gobernar. Caminos y comunidad, trabajo como misión. El poder no era conquista, era responsabilidad. No fue progreso, fue despojo. No fue fe, fue antojo. Antes del mapa, antes de ti había pueblos completos que no vas a entender. No éramos pasado, somos raíz, aunque nos llamen historia, seguimos aquí. Hey. 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 Quemaron nombres, vendieron memoria, alzaron fronteras sobre nuestra historia. Nos dijeron atraso para robarnos la voz, civilización a balazos y la fe pa'l control. Pero la tierra recuerda, la raíz no se rinde. Aunque cambien las banderas, la herida no se extingue. De norte a sur somos la misma raíz, la misma herida que se niega a morir. De norte a sur nadie sobra aquí, Latinoamérica sigue y no va a pedir permiso para existir.
Mesta isukame Claudia Shemo ya utayu. Shabete ya komera javeni kenam pokayube tita pero yemu que ak.
De donde soy no nos rajamos, cualquier guerra la trabajamos. El sacrificio jamás es en vano, que hasta el espacio hemos llegado. Where we are from no nos rajamos, and what we dream of lo realizamos. Gran paisano, hermano, amigo, soy mexicano. Y cambiamos de lugar, no de bandera. Verde, blanco y rojo lo llevo en las venas. Como el águila volamos sin fronteras. Rompemos la malla que separa tierras. Y nacimos con legado de grandeza. Extraño mi rancho, también mi familia, pueblo querido que no se me olvida, aunque de este lado me trajo la vida, siempre para Adela como Pancho Villa. Y cambiamos de lugar, no de bandera, verde, blanco, rojo lo llevo en las venas, como el águila volamos sin fronteras, rompemos la malla que separa tierras y nacimos con legado de grandeza.
A nuestras mujeres y madres inmigrantes, un ejemplo de fuerza y valor. ¡Y que viva México!
aunque el acta diga americano, hay en puro mexicano.
Y cambiamos de lugar, no de bandera. Verde, blanco y rojo lo llevo en mis venas.
Como el águila volamos sin fronteras, rompemos la malla que separa tierras y nacimos con legado de grandeza.
Chicanos killing Chicanos is what they want. Blacks and Chicanos killing each other is what they want. That's how they run this place. Once we get together, they don't run shit. Got a lot to learn about being Chicano.
Yeah, Alcatraz, midget loco. Yeah. They never seen this coming, man. What up, Loon? What up, Oreo? 500 years of captivity. What else? Now they trying to tell us how we supposed to be, how we supposed to act, how we supposed to rap. How I'm brown but my flow too black. Come on, y'all kidding me, right? Nike Air Flights fitted, cut back fresh. Representando mexicanos on the map. No estoy jugando, got bars like I battle on smack. But hold on, I'ma bring it right back. My people indigenous. I'm not sure if you getting this. By the time I'm done, you gon' be feeling this. I come from the people they call Mexica. I've been to the motherland, Chichen Itza. Seen the Mayan ruins, intellectual architects. Been in the cenote, seen ancient artifacts. Really? Cali is Mexico, those are the facts. They raped women, gave elders heart attacks. It was a battle, our people were outgunned. Took life and cattle, we were outdone. However, 2 wars proudly we take to the grave. Those we call our Independence Day. It's time to stand up, educate our people. Stay on our ground, let them know that we equal. We see your plan, but your plan is see-through. You can't stop my people. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm holding it down.
It's story with Mexicano. Gave birth to the word that we know as Chicanos. Aztec warrior, man, it's all in my blood. From the Tenochtitlan, that's the heart of the love. Now I'm Mexico City, that's a modern day name. Don't let the books confuse it to be a modern day slave. Gotta get your facts right and study the culture. Don't be like Cortez, he came like a vulture. Came to just steal and take away the land. He seen what we got and he was like, damn, who would've guessed it had to be a white man. Damn again, now we got stolen lands. They say go back to where the fuck you from. Man, this is my land, that's what you stole from us. I'm not Hispanic or Latino, I'm a Mexican. Man, fuck La Milicia, you can have that bitch.
It's time to stand up, educate our people. Stay on our ground, let them know that we equal. We see your plan, but your plan is see-through. You can't stop my people. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm holding it down, yeah.
All right, fam, this is the last song. You guys have a good night. All right, take care of yourselves, please. Make sure you stay close to your fam bam. Don't ever forget that. All right, give me a second. Al rato.
En esta cúpula sellada por los dioses de la nada hay direcciones que te llevan a la brújula sagrada y en manos equivocadas es un arma preparada para que sueñes en la meta y te quedes en la entrada.
Un mal camino para todo aquel camino y creyó que ser poeta es jugar con el destino. Querido amigo, muchos escriben piensan ayudar, mucho menos educar a cada oyente de la música divina. Hoy solo cantan para ganar, mucho money sin sudar. Tienen imagen pero poca disciplina. Ahora que toca canciones del verano, compuestas por enfermos que artistas no escuchamos. Nosotros somos cuerdos, dormimos con los cuervos, cantamos con el alma, escribimos con el cuerpo. Tocamos a mujeres con respeto del do, iluminamos a los hombres al compás de este sol. Imaginamos a los niños en nota fa mayor y peleamos con los cerdos que tocan la menor. Esto es rap para la audiencia, temblor para la agencia, un pacto para Dios y batalla con la iglesia. Un libro de la vida que no admite más creencias ni ideologías vanas que matan toda inocencia. Son pentagramas de eminencia, domados con paciencia, un baile con las madres y padres de toda ciencia. Un clavo de la cruz con sangre de prepotencia, la traición de Jesús contada por su excelencia. Por eso sal de la rutina de gustarle a los demás, pues vas encaminado solo a ser otro más. En esta tómbola cae la bomba, salida que te maten por la calle no me mola. Partir con tus amigas a bailar no debe darle miedo ni siquiera a Satanás. Como lobo siberiano con mi banda de la mano, protegemos los mensajes que a menudo recitamos. Preparamos el brebaje como buen samaritano, con canciones que te retan a salir de lo mundano. Y así vamos, damos, transformamos lo que tocamos en oro puro que lo venden a gramos. Pero hechizamos, magos de la montaña bajamos para darle lo que falta, que en nada primo llegamos. A cada parte de la tierra, parando toda guerra que quiere siempre hermano separarnos. Me he dado cuenta que la música es eterna y solo quien la siente podrá levantar la mano. Para que el músico te entienda necesitamos fuerza creada sobre párpados mojados. Sea de alegría o de tristeza o por vivir la mierda de ver cómo este mundo destrozamos. Prepara tus neuronas para escuchar lo que esconden. Profetas no se siguen cuando fardan de coche. Si los tengo en la cara ninguno me responde. Me da vergüenza ajena cuando engañan a pobres. Verán que su careta con palabras desmonte y acechada la luz nunca se le haga de noche. A los niños darle juego no ese móvil de Porsche. Eduquemos con palabras no buscando reproches. Por eso sal de la rutina de gustarle a los demás, pues vas encaminado solo a ser otro más. En esta tómbola cae la bomba, la salida que te maten por la calle no me mola. Partir con tus amigas a bailar no debe darle miedo ni siquiera a Satanás.
Ical, hijo, abre los ojos. Tu cuerpo se queda con nosotros, pero tu espíritu debe seguir. Busca la luz. Aléjate de las sombras. Deja que nuestro dolor sea tu fuerza. Desde aquí iluminamos tu camino. como nosotros ante esta pena tan grande. Yo soy tú, tú eres yo. La muerte que hoy nos separa, mañana volverá a unirnos. Eres libre, hijo.